Hey there, Veteran Nation fans. I am talking to you today because I have teamed up with a company that's dedicated to supporting veterans. What they do is they help you gather all the medical evidence that you're going to need to submit a VA disability claim. Now, it's all that is designed to help you get the benefits that you have earned. Right now, more than 17 million veterans don't have their full benefits. And if that sounds something familiar, either for yourself or a family member, now is the time to act. With this company, what they offer is free consultations with the medical team so they can figure out how they can best help you. And what they provide is board certified doctors with experience working with the VA, comprehensive medical documentation for both physical and mental conditions. And the services that they provide include NEXUS letters, telehealth evaluations, DBQs, TDIU, aid and attendance, and so much more. What you're going to do is you're going to click the link that's in the description of this video and sign up for a free consultation. Make sure you do me a favor, share this, and also tag a veteran. Let's help more people get every single thing that they have earned.
Hey there,
Oh, hey, we're
welcome
live.
everybody. Say that again.
Oh, hey, we're live.
We are live. We have to be professionals. We have to remember that everything that we say and do is streamed on the internet right now.
Why would that change?
Right? We just wing it. We do whatever.
All of a sudden, no, I think all of a sudden you want us to be professional because you have somebody respectable coming on the show.
That is true. And I'm really excited about today's show because I normally get on average 1, maybe 2 veterans a week who reach out to me just on various things that they're doing. And, you know, there are people who think I am completely full of it. So we'll bring the VA claims headquarter, bring him on, and he can tell you the same things I've been telling people.
Wait, like, trust me, people that think you're full of it don't think you're full of it because there aren't other people out there that say the same things.
True. But yeah. But for me, I really want veterans to get into the process of doing their disability claim, getting in their intent to files, because there's so many veterans out there who they need help, or they just don't realize they're gonna need help. And getting that process starting makes it a little bit easier, they kind of know what to expect then.
You know, I think the problem for a lot of people is, and this is you in particular, but we spend a lot of time talking about the problems with the VA.
True.
And you look what Kahanu AVA goes through, Veterans Affairs Media and everything that he's had to deal with from them, basically accusing him of being a violent threat, which was unfounded because they saw him with airsoft, imagery. But it makes it really hard for people like me who have been out for decades to want to immerse themselves in what is, again, another potential controversy or confrontation, and have to fight against a machine that is geared to make you not want to fight against it. I mean, that's the great thing about government. They have the time, the money, the energy, and the effort to be able to grind you down.
And for years, that's what they did, especially with the Vietnam veteran guys. They just denied. Like I told the story about the POW who finally got his claim approved after 3 decades. He had made it in 1980, and the VA just kept denying him, and he kept on with his appeal. And we now have the Freud lawsuit, Freud v. Collins, proving that that's what the VA was doing. They were just blanket denying. And it takes its toll. But we have seen in the last, 5 to 10 years, some improvements. We still have ways to go. But I think today's show is going to be important for veterans who if they're feeling this is a daunting task, there are other veterans who've been through it, and we know how to navigate the process.
Well, yeah. So I just think that's what I know. That's been my hang up. You know that.
Oh yeah.
It's been my hang up because it's tough to listen to the horror stories and you know me, I'll document the crap out of it, and that'll end up getting me in more trouble too. So everybody wants to know why you were late today. They were all blaming Georgie, and I'm gonna do something I don't do very often. I'm gonna defend Georgie. It's not Georgie's fault. I was on time. I just kept trying to get Skipper to start on time, and he just kept. Strangely enough, Skipper just kept talking.
we had to agree to a couple things before we went live today, because I'll gauge by audience reaction. I actually may put the link out there so people can come on the show. And by the way, we just got a super chat. Thank you so much, Greg of Scotland. We do appreciate the support here. Yeah, I think today's going to be a great show for us being able to help other veterans. So without further ado, I'd like to bring on our guest, Robert from VA Claims Headquarters.
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
Doing well. Good to have you on the show.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to be here, guys. Thank you for having me.
You're natural at this. You come on and say, "Hey, how are you guys doing today?" Like we didn't talk before the show started. That's just great.
It's no.
Well, I do it every day, like 2 or 3 hours a day, so it's pretty natural. But I do it alone, and I do it alone. So I have to like talk to myself and answer myself. So it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and that's how I found you. I was just scrolling on TikTok and was just watching you talk about claims, and was like, oh yeah, this guy's giving good information. A lot of the same information I try to push out, but you've even taught me some things. So I think that's great.
Yeah, thank you. The way that I see it is like this, and you can kind of like break it up in different ways. Whenever someone thinks, okay, let's just all agree, Michael Jordan, hands down, the best basketball player ever, hands down, nothing to it, right? But you put him in a coach situation or like a general manager, like here in Charlotte, it was really bad. So what I'm saying is you can have someone that has like all the knowledge, they've rated before, they've been a CMP examiner, a lawyer, whatever, but put it into practical terms, things that you can simply break down to the simplest way, because not all veterans understand all this lingo and stuff, but they want like basic, what can I do to get my claim? How can I speak to the doctor? What happens when I go to the CMP exam? How's my claim? And I really, that's what I try to do. I try to give them like a mix of everything.
And, right before we went live, you were talking about a claim clinic, and I just learned about these. Can you talk about those a little bit?
Oh, yeah. So basically what a claims clinic is that they have them like all over America. I wish I had the link, but they have a link and they have them like pretty much once or twice a month in different states, not every state, but they have them. And basically you go from step 1 to 8, which is all the steps, in one day. You can possibly walk out from 0 to 100 in one day, 3 or 4 hours. So basically you walk in, there's a crowd of people, they give you a number, you walk, and then they call back so many numbers. You get back there, there'll be probably like 15, 20 VSOs at a computer. They have all your information right there. You can go ahead and make your claim. If you have a NEXUS letter, buddy letter, you can push it right on in. And then they decide, okay, you go to a CMP exam. They have 2 vendors out there with about 10 CMP examiners. You get your CMP exam done. As soon as you're done with your CMP exam, it's uploaded to the portal, right? You walk right back in there, and you walk in, you wait for a couple of minutes, 5, 10, 20 minutes, you know how the waiting is.
Yep.
And you go back and there's a room full of people, which is the raters. It's the actual raters. And you walk in, you sit down, you're actually in front of a rater, and they go over your claim and your DBQ. Your DBQ is the disability questionnaire, what happens at the CMP exam. And this can happen within 2 hours, and you can fully get rated. And they'll just go right down the checklist. Okay, I give you 10% for ankles. Oh, I see this, 20% for this. Okay, put in this claim. And it just goes so smoothly. And they're real kind. And here's a little bonus thing that I feel like people don't understand. It's a little different when you submit a claim and it feels like you're going by, like you're submitting a claim, there's like someone like the Wizard of Oz. There's someone behind this mask wall, that you never see. But the difference is, you know how hard it would be for someone to sit in front of you and say, you're denied. Do you know what? So, I mean, I got all my claims approved. I'm not saying that's going to happen for everyone. I had 15 claims, got the max for all 15 right off the bat. So I was in that clinic and out within probably 2.5 hours and had 15 claims maxed.
Nice. And that's, I tell people, come talk with me before you go talk to a VSO, because a lot of veterans don't understand that you can go in and say, okay, yeah, I've got a claim for sleep apnea, or one for PTSD, or one for migraines, but you need to know what is secondary, and also you need to know what the elements of that is, because that's going to control your rating. And I've talked to a couple people. I'm like, look, if you go in, they're like, well, I've got this problem, but it's not service connected. And I'm like, oh, hold on a second. If you're service connected for PTSD, your migraines can be a secondary condition. You don't have to prove the military connection anymore.
Right. And this is how I treat it. I treat VA disability and compensation kind of like chess. Most veterans look at it checker. They're just like, oh, I got to move here. No, it's chess. You're actually looking for the king, and the king is your end result. Is it 100 for everyone? No. Is it 90 for everyone? No. But whatever that may be, that's
Mhm.
your king. And what I'm saying is, the perfect example is just like, let's just say you're connected, service connected for flat feet, right? Let's just say 30, 50% maxed out, right?
Yep.
People don't understand you could just be service connected just for your flat feet and end up being 100, because there's a thing called kinetic chain. And what that is, you just walk right up the body. And what I'm saying is, those flat feet, right, that you got service connected, you say you get an ankle diagnosis, bilateral ankles, then your knees, your hips, right? Then your back from all this. And then from your back, now this is all just secondaries. From that back, you start developing depression because you can't do everything, that you can do before. So you got the depression. Depression leads into IBS, the brain, kind of like the brain axis, whatever gut thing. And then migraines from from your mental health. You see how that little chain right there, and we kind of went from just flat feet to reaching 100. And people don't realize like this, like you will start to develop these problems. Might not be a year, it might be 5, 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. And I want to let the audience know I'm going to do something that we've never really done before here. And this is going to be a little bit weird, but I'm going to put a link in the chat. So wherever you're watching, if you want to come on the show, and you don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to, but if you want to come on the show and be able to ask your disability claims question, we're going to allow that today. So let me put that in there. And please be appropriate.
Does that go for us?
I think we have a at least TC has a get out of jail free card.
Okay.
So
we have that out there. So if anyone jumps in, we'll go to them.
We're talking about a non-controversial question today.
Well, it can't be controversial. Trust me. Trust me. Like it can. It can turn that way really quickly. Trust me.
You don't get fired up version of me when we're not talking about controversial topics that people take stupid positions on.
Jay Bowen says, if they are waiting to reevaluate my hypertension, should I cheat and drink 3 Monsters before my appointment?
No.
No.
I drank one before
going to
mine.
show up. Your hypertension's going to show up whether or not you drink Monsters. Like, so
Yeah.
if you have to drink 3 Monsters to make your hypertension hypertensive,
Right.
you probably don't have hypertension. So, but
hyperfiction.
So
Robert says, I'm sitting at 90% now, trying to get to 100%, waiting on TDI. If you haven't worked in 2+ years, or haven't worked in 2+ years because of my blindness. Is it going to be easy for me to get to 100?
Wow.
I would
so
say, even
how
as a
can you?
non-expert, how can you not already be at 100 if you're not working because you're blind?
What, I mean, he might have some kind of program, but like, how is he reading the, like, how is he typing right now? And reading what, like, I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, it would really be Robert, it would be very much dependent upon what you've been rated for right now and at what levels. I get a lot of Marines every day because I'm on a Marine base, and they're like, I'm going to easily get to 100% because my knees are bad. Muscular skeletal things don't get a whole lot of stuff, but there is things out there like if you've been exposed to burn pits and blue water Navy chemicals, there you'll probably find that you'll get things like migraines and hypertension and a lot of these secondary conditions.
I will add to that when he said how easy would it be. Now, if you're blind, I'll just be straight up honest with you. You shouldn't even worry about getting to this 100 that you're trying to do. You should go for aid and attendant, an SMC-L. And what you want to do is go to your PCP. There's a form called a 2680 and have them fill it out for you, because 100 should not be your target with what you got,
Everybody
blindness.
watching, please write these things down. You should be writing these things. This is not our normal show, so
I'm not normal anyway, so it's not going to be normal any way we go.
no one in our audience at all. There is no one normal in our audience.
Okay, I fit right in. I fit right in.
Starting with Georgie.
Now, I don't know how you guys do this. Do we answer this? I know. Oh, you said this is the first time that you guys ever done this. Do you like answer the questions? Do we come back?
Yeah.
Well,
so
let Jones in. So let's.
Okay.
So Joan.
Welcome to the show, Joan.
Hey, how are you?
We're doing well.
Okay.
There's that Minnesota accent.
Yeah, there's Minnesota accent. Yeah. Okay, we went to the VSO. First of all, to get my husband's rating changed, and no success. This man was, can't remember exact years of service, but was in Vietnam and stuff. A Vietnam person. And he was stationed at Lejeune for over 2 years. Now has renal issues, has to have a permanent catheter, has a pacemaker. The VA did one cataract surgery, which somehow got messed up. Now he's blind in that eye. He's going blind in his other eye.
No, stop. Just pause for a second. When you said the VA did it, from when the VA did it, he went blind because of that?
Yeah.
Okay, now you got a pen and paper?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a thing called an 1151. That's whenever the VA, it's almost like malpractice on the outside, but you can do a 1151 claim and get compensated for that, for the blindness.
Well, what they're saying is, oh, yeah, he's diabetic, and that's why.
Yeah, they're always going to say that. But
yeah.
What I'm saying is you have a claim. I'm just saying you got to pursue an 1151.
An 1151?
Yes. Okay, now we can go on.
Yeah. He was out at Lejeune, all the water issues and everything. And
what was his date? Because that's 1953 August to 1977 December 31st. And he had to be there 30 days.
Yeah, he was there. I think he was there like 71, 72.
Okay, he fits at 30 days. Okay, it's water.
Yeah, so he was there over 2 years.
So what is he? That's a presumptive condition for certain things. So what is he trying to get there?
Well, he's just trying to get his 100% disability, and he can't get it.
Right. What I'm saying is, what has he got going on?
The kidney problems.
Kidney problems. Now, has he filed that? Now, has he filed that through the PACT Act?
We tried to file through PACT Act, and they said we were too late.
Too late.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
No.
You might have been too. You might have been too late for the Camp Lejeune water. You might have been too late for that, but not for the PACT Act.
For the PACT Act. Okay.
No, when you go back, Now, when you said that he had like, he's going to need these diagnoses. Like, does he have like Parkinson's disease?
Not Parkinson.
Okay, that's usually like the presumptives on it, but like, so
And then he's got PTSD. He's got, I don't know. Oh my goodness. Arm loaded.
Well, see, I think we need to back up real quick. I think I think a better way of doing this is, is a better way if you just tell me exactly, if you have a pen and paper, if you kind of tell me like what he's rated for, and I could help you kind of like out to the side, you can kind of like write down some things that are possible. And if he has these diagnoses, he could service connect it back to its secondary. Because the water thing, there is some presumptive there. Then you have the 1151 for the blindness possible. I think that would be the best water. Yeah, the water is because at Camp Lejeune, the water was toxic and people got a lot of presumptive conditions.
Right. I understand that part of it. The only thing I know that with the rating stuff that he's got is PTSD.
So he's only rated for PTSD.
That's the way I understand it. No, I could be wrong. I mean,
okay. Yeah, this is without any more information, because usually I understand. I usually get the veteran telling me, but here's what I would look for.
He's in hospice right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So why? Here's two things that I would look at right off the bat. Do you know what he's rated for PTSD?
I'm not sure. I know what he gets every month from VA, but
I could tell you.
He gets 1,700.
So he's like 50%. Wow. Okay. So he's 50% for PTSD. And with that, has he ever tried anything like, if you write this out from it, this is what I'd write out, and just to kind of help you have like a little guidelines. And then I would put like, if he has any of these things, he can do migraines secondary to that PTSD, and he could do IBS, that's irritable bowel syndrome. He could do those two things right off the bat, and then look into hypertension. It's a 0 rating usually.
He's got that. He's got a pacemaker now.
Okay, then see, the hypertension can lead to the heart, but that's what I'm saying. You want to get the hypertension secondary to the PTSD. And the only final thing I have to say is look into the Camp Lejeune PACT Act, because the water, he might have one of those conditions, and and I would do the 1151 form, and that's where I kind of leave you at right now. And then when you kind of get that motion going, write this out to the side. When you ever get these things in order, look into aid and attendant for him with all these things that he's got going on. He's probably right there on the cusp of getting it, and he just doesn't know. A lot of people think you have to be 100% to get it. No, you don't. You don't. There's ways in with all the stuff he's got going on. That's what I would look into.
Okay.
What I would strongly suggest, Joan, is that you reach out to Robert privately after this and talk to him, because I know you are in the thick of it right now, and there's no way you're going to absorb all this and take it all in and remember it. You're going to need to probably have a private conversation, and Skipper will, I'm putting this on Skipper. Skipper will make sure to get you in touch with
I've got
Robert.
Joan's phone number. Me and Joan have texted before, and I can get her in contact.
Thank you. Yeah,
all right, and then the second question is myself. I went in with a prior condition on a waiver.
Okay.
They tell me because I was not able to fulfill my service agreement, I have 0.
Okay. Couple questions. You already know that you can be rated, like if anything from MEPS, you can be rated for it. But my question, when you said you didn't complete your service, did you get an honorable?
Yes.
Okay, so someone
honor general due to prior. What do they call it?
You got med boarded.
I think so. That's what they call it.
Yeah, you got it.
Can't remember. This is back in 1980.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So you're not. Wow. 1980. You're
That's
not.
okay. You could pick on Joan for her age. That's fine.
No.
Well, you can pick
Pre-existing
on me even more if you're, on the third, Am I really become an older lady?
pre-existing conditions, even though you had them, your service can make them worse. And here's the thing, they can also get worse because of your service over time. So just because it was something that you already had before you came in doesn't mean that you can't.
Yeah, they can't refuse you any benefits because they wrote you a waiver for your pre-existing condition. And if you got out on a on an honorable or even an honorable under general, they can't turn around and say, "Oh, sorry, you're bad. You came in with a pre-existing condition." No, you let me in with that pre-existing condition.
Okay, absolutely. But that's what discharged me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. They still let you in.
You have general under honorable, you're good to go. And the thing is like, even if you didn't, like, a lot of people don't understand this, like you had 2 services and you did 3 and 3, and one could be dishonorable and the other one could be honorable. Well, honorable then dishonorable, of course. And then you can still get your benefits for the first one. And then, or if you have honorable and then other than honorable OTH, you can get the OTH upgraded and then, get that. So that's just a little thing. And what you're talking about, the only hurdle that you're going to run into is 2 things. One, proving that it went beyond natural progression over these years. That's going to be your one hurdle. The second thing is all this time, have you been seen for this thing over the last 50 years, 40 years? Because if you don't have treatment or symptoms logged in, that's going to be a big issue, depending on what it is. So hopefully that you've been getting treatment for this.
Yes, I haven't.
Cinder says that Joan seems pretty cool.
I ended up 3 years after I got out, I lost my kidney. So my bad kidney.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I was just trying to try to help you, like that's what happens. Even when people have been out, it's not like a lost cause, but like you have to show that gap, because if not, they're going to say, okay, so it was acute and transitory. Yes, you had it in service, but what happened for like the last 10, 15, 20 years? If you don't have treatment, some kind of like symptoms, some kind of logs, something, they don't have anything to hold on. They'll just be like, oh, okay, well, it's fine. It's life. I don't know what your condition is. If it's like flat feet, they'll just be, oh, it's just part of life. Maybe you're a runner after you got out. Maybe, weight gain or whatever it may be. So you have to show that you were going to the doctor, or it's an uphill battle. And I'm just being, I don't like it like that, but I just tell you how they look at it, not how I look at it.
Right. And our local VSO, man. That's what happens when you live in rural Minnesota.
No, just remember, you can go to the DAV and go get a VSO there too. You're not tied to your county VSO. Some counties don't even have VSOs.
I would strongly recommend that you not be tied to a county VSO in
Me
Minnesota.
too.
They're not known for hiring the most motivated, put together people.
Right. And a lot of people don't know this, but your county VSOs and these VSOs, people are like, oh, they work for free. They don't work for free. They get paid. Also, every claim that they put in, they get this little point, and it goes right back to their office, and they all get paid. They don't get like a bonus, but their office kind of gets paid.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. And you can reach out to me.
I will, but at least now, gives me an idea where I need to go with me, and then how to take care of him. So we can get this done before the inevitable happens here soon.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So that I can make sure me and our son are taken care of.
I hear that. I definitely hear that.
So, okay. Well, thank you for your time, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. You have a wonderful day.
I will.
But that's way too much niceness and cordial behavior that our show is not known for that.
Do you want me to get mean?
Epilepsy Warrior
People
here
don't know
has
how to deal with it here.
a question I get a lot. I'm at 90%. I filed an intent to file for my back in 2015. Now I have evidence of arthritis in my MRI. But they say, don't poke the bear since I'm being paid at 100%.
This is easy. This is the thing. Why do you want to poke the bear and why do you want this connected? You already connected for your back, number one. Okay, so it's been 11 years. You're getting paid to get all the benefits. So my thing is, the only question I have for you, this is really easy. Do you want to work or not? That's it. That's the question here. When you say don't poke the bear, what are you trying? Are you going for aid in attendant, like SMC-L? I need to know those things because, like, when you say don't poke the bear, in my chat, we say slap the bear. We don't even say poke the bear. In my chat, we say slap the bear because, like, for a lot of people, 100 is the beginning. 95% of people, it's the ending. The other 100 is just the beginning. It's like starting at 0 again. Just remember that. So I can't really answer that question without kind of like knowing what he wants to do.
Oh, that's I know Epilepsy Warrior. It's a she. And if you do want to come on, we do have the link to everyone. We might have to get into a little bit more of the details.
So if you're at 90 getting paid for 100 and then you file a new claim, you start back over at 0?
No. This is what I mean. So if you're 90% and you're getting IU, TDIU, that means you're paid and you get all the benefits of 100% PNT. What I'm saying is when you file, you still stay at 90, but you can work your way up to 100. Once you get to 100 schedular PNT, you can work unlimited. But if you're at 90, 80, 70, and you're at TDIU, you can only make like roughly averages out to about $1,300, $1,400 a month. Now there's a different way.
Work can really help as a side thing. Because I do know people who got TDIU and then went for SSI because it was proof that they couldn't work a job.
Correct. And another thing, just to piggyback on that,
wait. Slow down.
I'm used to TikTok. If you see me on TikTok, you would understand.
Acronyms all over the place. So there are two types. There's two types of 100% disability. There's a 100% disability that there's three types of 100% disability. There's a 100% disability that allows you to work full time, no penalties.
Correct. But
you can and you get all your benefits.
Correct. That's the thing.
There's 100. No, Skipper, you do not work full time. You handle contracts. There's
part-time work. No. A day labor.
It's not even work. Gets to take his dog with him.
Service dog.
Good point.
Then there's a type that you can get rated, but then you're limited on how much income you can have coming in for your work per month.
You're close. You're very close. So basically, this is what it boils down to. You got 100 PNT, right? So
what's PNT stand for?
Permanent and total. Permanent total. Everything is static. That means you really cannot be reduced unless there's like fraud or some kind of mistake. That means you get all your benefits. Now there's 100 schedular, right? That means you can still work, but that doesn't mean all your permanent and total because you could have cancer, right? And then it could go remission and you would go down, right? Then there's the TDIU. That's the third one. That's unemployability. That's kind of like SSI in a type of a way, Social Security, where you can be under 100 but still get paid the benefits and the benefits. Does that make sense?
Work.
Technically, you have to work kind of like you would Social Security, like substantial gainful employment where you only make like $1,300 a month. Anything above that, they'll take it away from you and give you back your normal rating, like 80, 90. Word of advice. What's up, K-Town? I know you, brother. Most everything done on the spot. Yep. He went to the one-day claims clinic. That's the one that they hold the one day. Yep. Here in North Carolina. Sweet. But yeah, it's a little. Yeah, I don't want to get in too much in the weeds.
I can't get into the VA. I don't have a real ID or a passport.
Well, you're not one of us. You got to get into it. So you can be what you want to be in the club, like the 100 Club.
I
Like
am
we could.
not going to get a real ID or a passport just to go places. So I'm screwed.
We would get, if TC goes, we will get him to 100% in no time.
Probably on psych alone.
Yeah, I could see that.
No, you don't even know me. What is this? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, well, I've heard about you. Nah, I've heard about you. Well, hey, I could already tell because like I'm actually 100 for mental. So like just looking at me and then looking at you, I'm just like, yeah, this guy should be 100.
Skipper's at 100 for all three of his personalities. So.
Anyone else want to come on? We've got the pinned link. You can come right on and talk straight to us. We might have to ask some questions that I don't think we're going to get too personal, but we'll ask things about your previous claims and what you've been rated on.
Skipper, what do they do since you're at 100? What do they do for your ED?
So that's actually a really good question. For ED and also for women, it's female sexual arousal disorder. You get rated at 0%.
Which, strangely enough, every woman that Skipper does.
But yeah, you get rated at 0%, but you do get additional money for loss of a creative appendage. So it ends up being like $200 extra on top of.
It's I don't know how to, I don't know if I should correct you. I don't know how I'm supposed to. Am I supposed to correct you or just?
Feel free to correct
me.
God.
Actually,
yes. I don't want to be the only one.
Actually, that's not the right amount. It's $139.43.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, and the COLA is going to go up, so it's going to be a little more. It's called SMC-K is what it is. Now, here's a little caveat you guys might not think about because a lot of people get denied. They're like, "Why did I get denied?" I'm like, "Did you have a vasectomy?" They're like, "Yep." Okay, it's a creative organ, guys. So when you do that, you lost it anyways.
Mm-hmm. Now, I am helping a female veteran where so she found out because, and this is something you were talking about on your show the other day, Robert. She finally got an agent and was able to see a lot of the stuff that were in her record. And the agent was like, "Whoa, your claims are really messed up." She had gotten denied for female sexual arousal disorder, and in the notes they blamed it on, they said that she had heavy menstruation, which is not at all a thing. So they're now doing an appeal to correct that. But that's a veteran I've been helping and was able to finally get them into someone who acts, they're not a VSO, but they can act as an agent. And once they were able to see those notes, they were like, "Wow, this is a mess."
There's a lot of those that happen. Like a clear, unmistakable error. They happen a lot because especially now, they're just running through claims. But actually, females can actually have two EDs of the lower part and the upper part. They can have two.
Mm.
And you know what? I was just putting it out there. We can get man boobs too. You know that you can get service connected for man boobs and itchy butthole.
Did not know about that.
Yeah, it's actually 10% and 20% for itchy butthole. It says itchy butthole on there. TC,
start writing this down.
But yeah, I could see him going in. I want to claim some itchy butthole today.
I mean, how do you prove that? You want to smell my finger? What?
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I guess
You're like a dog scraping your butt on the carpet.
You got to get down. Someone's saying eating disorders. Are we supposed to read it?
JBWN said, "Did you guys deploy and where?" So that's a question for.
I don't. When they say deploy, they mean like deployment. Only where I went was Korea.
And that's one thing I know we've touched on it, but I want to hit this home. even for those who've hit 100%, there's other things out there. There's like civilian clothing allowance.
hmm
There's aid in attendance. There's, other things. I had shared out your short about the free shoes.
hmm Yeah, so basically what he's talking about real quick, if you're service connected for anything and you have a brace for that prescribed by the VA, like a brace, a wheelchair, there's like 150 creams you can look at it, and you guys can get a clothing allowance. Before August 1st, you need to apply. So now I would start putting it in. You can get 4 of them. It adds up to about $4,000. Once you get it, you're grandfathered in, but there's a thing, 2 upper, 2 lower is what it is. You go to prosthetics.
So here we have Chad, who says, I just jumped on. I'm currently at 90% as of last week. Left and right knee, lower back strain, left ankle, sleep apnea, PTSD. Would a NEXUS letter tie these to get me to 100%?
So I'm currently 90 of last week. Left, right, lower back. So left sleep apnea, and PTSD. What the next time? What are you connected for? Is this what he's connected for, or I don't understand? Am I reading this wrong, or is he just saying what he wants to connect?
I can tell you this: if you're not connected, the knee, lower back, and the ankles, you can connect all those together. Especially when you get up to 90%, you're only looking for that last little bit to get to 95%. You can say, well, because my left knee is messed up, it has changed my gait and the way that I walk, which now causes me knee problems, which causes me back problems, which causes me hip problems.
It's kind of like a pimp walk or a G walk.
Yeah. And for a lot of people, myself included, plantar fasciitis is what gets you kind of there, which is a pretty standard claim, plantar fasciitis, and then everything else just becomes secondary.
Yeah, there's some pathways. It's kinetic chain. There's some etiology to this, but basically, I would love to know what your service connected for, because when you just threw out all these things, I could connect a lot of these to different things. So the thing, like, you can, if you have a lower back, connect it. Yeah, you can get your knees connected to that. You can get your hip. You know what I'm saying? And then the sleep apnea PTSD. This is just hard to tie in. I don't know how to tie this in, but would a NEXUS letter help? Sometimes they would.
Yeah, sometimes it would, but once if it's something secondary, you don't need the NEXUS letter if it's already secondary.
I was airborne. They told me anything starting from my feet up, I'm probably going to be able to get a rating for.
You are, because with you, the only thing that you really need to show is jump badges and your airborne badge when you do your claim next month. Yeah, when you do your claim TC next month.
I love your, like, when you do this next month.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. Trust me, you're gonna do the intent to file tonight. And when you do your claim next month,
I'm gonna cook and plate some fancy freaking food. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, while you're eating, brother, you can do it at the same time. Like, we can help you, but all you need is your jump badges, and the VA will concede your ankles, your knees, your hips, and the backs because of your jumps. They will concede it. Like, now, will you get a CMP examiner? It'll be like, no, but then you just maybe get denied or get halfway approved and then do a supplemental and pop it right back up. But yeah, I see it all day. Like, yeah, with jump badges.
This is.
Are you trying to tell me that hitting the ground at better than 15 miles an hour repeatedly over the course of several years is not good for your body?
Yeah, I'm saying that to you, and it's worth a rating. It's worth that rating that you're going to get in about 2 months. All that back pay, and if not, you can come here and bless the channel with all that money you're going to make.
The benefit of applying for my other claim, even though I'm being paid at 100% P&T, would be making it to 100%, also receiving back pay from 2015.
So the benefit of applying for my other claim, even though I'm being paid at 100, would be making it to 100, also receive my back pay. Oh, okay. I see that. So basically what he's saying, he's IU, and he's being paid. I understand. I definitely would look in it. The only time that I wouldn't do that, you guys, and people get greedy about this, and I understand, depending if it's not a lot of money, I would not do this. It's called a queue. And this is a lot of reasons why people get reduced. They're like, I was 100 PNT and I filed for an early effective date. You know why? Because the DRO, this is a higher level rater, a decision review officer. He has to go back through every single decision to make sure he doesn't get an error, because these raters, they get errors and they can lose their job. So that's the thing. But what you got, I can understand that, and I definitely would do something like I would really consider it because you're already IU. I would.
Now we have Chad going back to his feet. He was denied plantar fasciitis, and don't believe they are connected. We just need to know which ones you are connected for. Actually, do we have it here? Currently getting cortisone injections from left knee. They only gave me 10%. That's pretty standard for a knee if you're not in a wheelchair. It's kind of like you're going to get 10% for hearing loss unless if you have hearing aids. You got to really show a severe thing. But yeah, we really need to know, Chad, what you are connected for. What is connected and what do you want to connect?
Yeah, he's absolutely right. And usually here's the thing with any kind of, listen, you guys, I don't want to get in the weeds here, but any joint that you have, any joint, I don't care what it is, knee, back, whatever, if there's pain, it's a minimum and a maximum of 10%, you guys. That's it. Now, that's probably all they gave you. Now, the knee can have 7 different ratings. Now, will you get all those? No, because they pyramid over. That'll be the issue. But the most common 3 is this. They're going to have you sit in a chair. You're going to do like you're going to bend out like this, and then you're going to kick back. That's 2 ratings. And then they're going to ask you about the instability on your knee. So there's actually 3 ratings that you can get a lot of time per knee, and you get the bilateral factor of 10%.
Skipper put the link back in there for.
I do have it pinned, but I see Aisha is coming in from the paired channel, so it might not have pinned there. So just use that link right there, and you'll come right on the show. I do see Ed here.
Earlier, Cinder said that she thinks Joan is pretty cool. That's because everybody from Minnesota sounds pretty cool, but really deep down inside, we're stoically angry and bitter people who will chew you up and bury you in the backyard with little provocation. So
now, Ed here, I do know Ed. Ed has Agent Orange exposure from a storage area, and he says PACT Act accepts specific storage areas for a claim. Where are these areas?
Quick, everybody rush. Go find one of these areas.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know, because that's the thing that because that's so wide. I don't think anybody would know that, because they even have things called blue water, and if you're above, if he sent me a message, I could find it out for him, or if he sent it to you, if he knows you, I could help that out. But just knowing that, I mean, that's just you would have to know everything in the book.
Yeah, Ed's another one. I do have his phone number, so I can get that to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I see Chad here says had surgery, left shoulder, left knee, left ankle, possible left kneecap surgery. Range of movement is decent.
Okay, so this is where I'm getting off, because I'm used to people asking questions. Is this a statement or a question?
He was asking. This is the gentleman who was asking about the rating of it. He's at 90%, but we don't know what he's rated for, and he's got the knees, the ankles issues.
So he's got shoulder. So he's got the his shoulder. So the thing that you could go for, Chad, if the left shoulder, you want to look at the right shoulder secondary to your left shoulder, if that's possible. And then here's a little thing: if you have the radiculopathy in your arms, you can start getting that too. But with the left knee, of course, the right knee, and then a lot of times you can connect your back to your left knee, because the gait and then left ankle to the right ankle, and the kneecap, you're just going to throw it back over to the right. It's just one easy chain, you guys. And with all this stuff, I will look into GERD, because I know you're taking some pain medication, and that's going to be topped out about 10%, even though GERD goes to 80. The only way that you're ever going to be above 10% is if they do dilations. And this is where they go with the endoscopia, once or twice a year, or you're going to be stuck at 10. So if you get 10, don't be surprised. What's up, Mike?
I do want to stress he did say ridiculopathy. It just sounds ridiculous.
Sciatica.
I'm just sharing this out to a couple groups here. I want to make sure that people can come in and ask their questions. let's see. You can file service connection disability due to TERA, toxic exposure rating assessment. That's true.
Yeah, and when you do those toxic exposures, make sure when you file it that whatever you're exposed to, like JP9, whatever it may be, when you put in your claim, put it the exact toxic exposure, because that's where they'll get you.
Mike says multiple skeletal structure issues also can be claimed together under SSD for a mental health rating. This is only a good option if you have a low or no mental health rating.
Yeah, I don't like. I agree, but here's the thing. I don't like. This is the thing. I don't like muddy. I don't like muddy, and I don't like giving a CMP examiner exits. And when you try to do these claims like, hey, I don't know, I hurt my knee now, like my heart hurt now, I have a toothache. And I'm just like, oh, how are we connecting these things? The way that I treat it like this, if you can go tell Bob or Marie next door what is wrong with you, I like those claims. You know what I'm saying? But like this, there's so many ways to get mental health a different way. I don't like going around the long way. It's just like, okay, let's just get it like this instead of going around. But you are right.
Yeah. And I found it was easier to be like, yeah, my foot bone's connected to my ankle bone, connected to my leg bone. We have Ed who says, how difficult is it to go from SMC to SMC-I?
I think he means SMC-L, but the thing is the SMC-S, it's housebound. That's like if you're 100% for one disability and you have other disabilities that are 60, it's like $498. You'll go that. From SMC-L is a whole different ball game. That's aid in attendant. There's a couple ways to get to that. Well, there's a lot of ways, but the main way you guys are going to get there is if you have loss of use of a foot, 2 feet, hands, a hand and a foot. It's not anatomically like you got to lose it, but you got to kind of be like this where there's not a flicker, and it has to be both feet, one hand. Or if you have like mental health or other physical issues that you need help with activities of daily living, like medication management is huge. Feeding yourself, grooming, stuff like that, like that. But here's the thing, you cannot have SMC-S and SMC-L at the same time. They will defer to SMC-L because it's the higher evaluation. So technically you'll lose S, but you'll gain L if you get it. And it is difficult. This claim will go straight to the rater. It won't. Usually you won't have a CMP exam. Sometimes you will, but they'll either deny you or put it through, and you will have to do a 2680 form with your PCP, a 2680 with your primary care.
I would like to say that I will be offering next month amputation clinics to help you make a claim.
Free. I can see that's a free thing. Free.
All I can think of is John Belushi with Samurai Taylor. I see we have Pat who wants to come in. Pat, just use that link I just put in there. You can then come up on the dais.
So you could actually get a lot of people aid and attendant real quick.
So let's say you got a guy like me, Airborne, actually with the 82nd Airborne, not just jump school. I'm not knocking the people that only did their 5. I'm just saying you got your 5, but then you got people like me who had to jump on a regular basis. You jump school, then you throw in something like, if you're not familiar, the Green Ramp disaster at Fort Bragg Pope Air Force Base. It was a crash that killed 27 paratroopers. And while I wasn't on scene for the actual crash, every year I am impacted by survivor's guilt. And then I have been told that I have PTSD and also CPTSD. And the CPTSD probably comes from prior to my military time, but the PTSD is probably linked to Green Ramp and the fact that I was supposed to be there that day and got called away to go do something else, and that survivor's guilt is really nothing more than a version of PTSD. But this is by a therapist, not some schluff off the street. This is by an actual therapist. How does that look? How does that look when you go in to try and get a rating?
Well, I'm
When
sorry
you
that
when you're
happened to you. I'm sorry that happened to you. But from the way that they look at it, it could go, could you get connected for it? Yeah, but here's the thing. What they're gonna kinda do is say, like, okay, you weren't there, right? How do we know that you were supposed to be there? Like, why weren't you there?
Oh, you mean they're gonna ask that?
Oh yeah, they're gonna ask that. They're gonna ask you, like, okay, because like if not, I could say, hey, me and Skipper were supposed to be there too.
Well, I mean, I was
Well,
stationed at Fort Bragg when it happened. I was supposed to jump that
I'm
day
saying
and got called away
if all of
to
it,
do.
like if all of us were stationed there, we could all like, were you in that unit? Were you in that supposed to be there? Like, that's the questions that they're gonna ask you because you have to prove certain things like that. And the thing is just like that's what I don't like
Well,
about
I don't know how that's why I'm asking, because that's one of those things that just so daunting to someone like me, because I don't know how I would prove that I was supposed to be there because there isn't going to be a manifest with my name on it from that day, because I
what
wasn't on a manifest to go jump that day because I got yanked away to go escort a piece of equipment to a repair
I
shop.
and
So
this
I
is
have
not how this is not how I feel. This is how they're
no,
gonna look at. This is how they're
right.
gonna look at it. They're gonna like,
So if they're
I'm sorry
looking
to
for
hear,
proof, there's no way for me to prove it.
and then
and
there's
if
no
you're
way to
looking at the rating, okay, if you're looking at the rating, you're like, hey, I've got survivor's guilt, which is part of my PTSD. That's how I want to do it. If you've ever had nightmares about that incident, like maybe like you trying to call out to your buddies who were there, something like that, that would be enough to get you at 50%. If you've ever gotten so depressed because of your survival's guilt that you've considered, uh, you know, ending your life.
Deletion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be enough. Well, that would be meet the thing for 70% for PTSD, and that's how they. When we say go look at the scheduler, you can literally read what it takes to be rated at certain percentages for different things. So that's how I would. If you were going to one of the claims clinic, I would be like, talk about your nightmares, talk about the suicidal ideations, and you'll get a rating.
Mostly the PTSD from that day comes from the fact that with days following, we had to be on our best behavior because Bill Clinton was coming. So,
Mhm. And so you can talk about all that, but that's what they're going to be looking at is
I guess that was a small political joke. So
what are the key metrics that they can rate you for? We're getting a little bit behind in these, so I want to catch up. This is Army EOD, OIF, OEF, combat action badge. I claimed myself with no actual diagnosis, opened 18 claims, did a Zoom call for PTSD. She connected a mental issue, but not PTSD. Sleep study showed 78 on sleep apnea, severe. Yeah, they treat all mental conditions the same. That's been my experience.
well, here's the thing. I'm looking at this and something really stands out. Anytime that you have a combat action badge or a combat infantry badge, that's objective evidence that you were in combat.
Mhm.
Objective evidence you're in combat. You cannot deny that. What happened? You got a crappy CMP examiner. That's all I can tell you. I would do a higher level review and get another CMP exam and use my combat action badge as the stressor because you were in combat. She just didn't do a right job. So I can stop you right there. And your sleep apnea, do you have a CPAP or not? I don't care what your score is. I don't care if it's severe. I don't care if it's mild. I don't care if you fart in your sleep. It's just like you have to have that CPAP. You have to have that CPAP, but you can service connect it back to your PTSD. There's a way. Also, if you're obese before you have that sleep apnea, you can use obesity as an intermediate step. And obesity is not what people actually think because I'm technically obese. It's 30 BMI or more. 30.
Mhm. And also, I would also ask, are there secondary conditions that you have that are secondary to your PTSD? Migraines, IBS, hypertension. That's what your sleep apnea would be, is secondary to PTSD.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
My SSD, two bad knees, bad hip, and lower back issues all make me have frequent falls.
Yes, and this right here, my two bad knees, bad hip, lower lower back issues, all service connected. Okay, here's the thing. There is a way in with this. I know I've helped someone do this. So basically, let's say that you have bad knees, not like a, I'm sorry, but not like a 10%. Maybe instability might get you there. But if you just have range of motion of 10 or 20, it's really not going to get you there. But the instability, kicking out from you, and you have a fall, and and to say that you hurt your shoulders because you try to catch yourself, and you hurt your shoulder, right? And then you get like, I don't know, any kind of like shoulder thing. Now you guys have to get a diagnosis. You have to be seen for this. You can't just make it up at the CMP exam, for your doctor, whether it's going to the ER clinic or reporting it. Yes, you have a claim there. And the hardest thing is going to be forming the nexus. This is one that I do like getting a nexus letter, only because like it's just like one of those things that like I believe you as much as I can. Like, yeah, that can happen. And CMP examiners, it's medically there. Yeah, there's etiology there, but I like to explain it. You have to like walk them into this. If not, everybody would just say, I want everything connected from my falls. But I do like the claim.
We have this comment from Ed. He's at 100. It's the rest is multiple. I get 8 in attendance. Nurses come 3 times a week. Want to get SMCS.
100%. 100%. 100%. It is the rest is multiples. I get 8 in attendance. You wait a minute. If you get 8 in attendance, that's SMC-L. What you want to do, you don't want SMC-S because that's the lower. SMC-L is 8 in attendance. You want to go are you talking about you want to do half steps like the 50? Like if you have anything that equals 50, you go up a half step, and then a whole step would be, is that what you're talking about? Because remember this, guys, like let's say that your ankles or bilateral ankles is 40, right? And you get the bilateral factor, and then you got tinnitus, right? That makes it 50. That gives you a half step. It's like climbing a ladder, and you go up $250 every time you climb that ladder. And once you get to O, that's 6 ladder steps. You automatically go to R1. R1's $9,800 a month, right? But there's also a way Nancy and a half, that's N and a half. If you have SMC-K with that 8 in attendant and you have 5 steps, you automatically go to R1. But that's what you want to. You want to look at half steps. Look up Berry law, versus McLaughlin. I can't pronounce it, and it's called half steps.
I do want to touch on this one. Many have lost brother and sister in arms due to suicide, and that adds to PTSD. It does. In fact, I've run across this with Caleb Kammer out there telling people, well, you're a cook. How are you at 100%? The biggest MOS with PTSD, like almost everyone who has this MOS that comes out of it, is mortuary services. People who do mortuary services, they're dealing with the bodies. They have some of the worst rates of PTSD coming out of the military. So this whole, well, they didn't serve in combat, they didn't deploy, you got to put that aside. You can have PTSD from any part of your military service.
I agree. That's why there's actually 3 ways. People don't know this, that there's 3 ways to get PTSD. The first one is non-combat. The second one is combat. The third one is military sexual trauma and personal attack is the 3 ways.
MST. Charlton says, can I claim secondary to PTSD, depression, that Ronald Reagan was elected in 1980 deployed during Iran?
I think we're going to defer over here to the left, up top. He can answer this question.
That is a TC question.
This is a TC question. Hey, it's your cue, brother.
I'll put it.
No, I'm not. It's not that show today.
Okay.
Yeah. Aisha.
Yep, there you go, Joe.
Aisha says she can't get the link to work. So I'm assuming she with a, but whoever.
The only thing I can think is maybe if it's a problem with because she's coming in from a paired channel. That's the only thing I can think. Maybe if you copy it and paste it as plain text, that's the only thing I can think of.
I would copy it out of the chat and then put it in your address bar.
I think she's coming in from my channel, maybe.
She is, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I'd say do the copy it and paste it as plain text. But it also could be if she's on mobile and desktop, that can affect it as well. Would going to the VSO and requesting my DBQ notes be beneficial in helping me generate a NEXUS letter via your site? Because I'm not sure what is connected, i.e. need a back.
Are they talking to me or you?
I think they're talking to you.
I don't know about me because none of them know. I don't have my NEXUS letters up here. So you got to be. But I can answer this question.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, here's what I would do, and definitely this is one of those things that every last one of you better grab a pen and a piece of paper. I'll give you a couple seconds because this is great. Okay, hope you got them. Now, if you go to the VSO, they cannot hand over your DBQ. That's what you get at the CMP exam, the results. But there's a way that you can get them in a few days. You can get the results. If you go into va.gov, you know the little search engine right there? Type in find forms. When that pops up, you want to, they're probably going to forget this number, but 20-10206, 20-10206 form. And then you can request your CMP results from that exam. You can get them back. You'll have everything that they said. Thank you, Chi-Town, brother. You know the form, brother. But yeah, you get that form. You can see every single thing they wrote, every little note. How about the care? Oh, you're reading a question. Sorry, I took your.
Oh, no, that's
I'm
fine.
taking.
How about the caregiver program for veterans?
Let TC. TC can come in. Like TC, you set me up and I'll come in.
How about the caregiver program?
Okay, right there.
These things are all foreign to me. I don't. This is so. No, I don't want to do any of this. It's too damn much. This is. I have to take time off from work to do all this. I can't afford to take time off from work to go do all of this. No, I'm not. This is not happening. This is way too goddamn much.
TC, what this is they're asking about a program where we could have your wife designated as your caregiver, and she would get paid monthly for taking care of you and making sure that you put your shoes on the right foot.
Yeah. So to expand on that,
she would sooner shoot me.
Well, she could still get paid. I mean, it's worth it, so she can get paid and do it. But the caregivers program, which is the PCFC, there's tier 1 and tier 2. And depending on where you live, it's usually $1,900 or $2,900, depending on where you live. That's tier 1, tier 2, right? And you have to apply for these programs. And I will be honest with you, these programs will reject you for one little reason. They'll say 6 months or more, not like the patient or person does not need 6 or more months of care. That's the reason why they're going to deny you. So you're going to have to get a letter from your doctor to state that it's hard to get. It's really worth it. It's a stipend. It's tax-free. So your spouse, your daughter, anyone can get this. Now, here's another little thing that you might want to do is apply for the FDC program. That's the Veteran Direct Care. Now, this is paid out like by the hour. It's like $15 or $20 an hour. Same thing. Your wife, husband, whatever, you can hire them. It's a lot easier to get in. It's more like a waiting thing, but you have to show some kind of severity.
Chi-Town says, can request yourself 10206.
Yes, you can request it yourself. And what's going to happen? You go into va.gov, you go under forms, right? And then once you go under forms, you type in that form 20-10206, it'll pop up, and then it'll say CMP exams, blah, blah, blah. You put in the date and boom. And a couple of days later, usually 1, 4, 5 days, it'll pop up into your email and you just download it and you see the whole CMP exam, DBQ.
I think Joan's question is, why were we required to go through our county social service to get aid and attendant and was getting 25 hours a week? Because every level of government wants to push you off on another level of government. And so instead of addressing it through the VA and taking, not taking advantage, but paying out a benefit that you both earned, they're like, oh no, let's push this off on the county, and that comes out of their budget. And in that way, it looks better for whatever agency that they're not forking out money. And it all comes down to this, and this is not a rip on the system, because the veterans have earned every single benefit they can get. but they just don't want to pay it out, and they don't care that every single thing that you get paid is coming from the taxpayers. They just don't want to pay it out because it impacts their bottom line. The more money they have to pay out, the harder it is for them. And that's why they fight so hard. That's why the VA in general fights so damn hard against things, is that it impacts their budget. Because they want their budget to go to pay for their dilapidated buildings and put money in the pockets of their way overpaid executive staff. So that's all it is. And I know that it's a crooked, dirty system. And this is why you got to have people that are so good at fighting these systems to help other people learn how to fight these systems. This is why I would not do good trying to do claims, because I'd get treated like the blind, who's the blind special forces guy that they literally beat him up and tried to. Do you remember? You know who I'm talking about, right?
Is it Blind Justice?
Yeah, Blind Justice.
Yeah.
He got blinded in the course of duty, and they beat him up for having his cell phone in a VA clinic. And then Skipper's like, TC, you really need to get your. I would get beat up.
Well, here's the thing. The problem I have with veterans, they're like, I just got denied. And I'm like, oh, and some of them I've talked to, and like, I get three types of veterans. I get those who they're asking me for help, but they want me to do it all for them. And I'm sorry, I can't do that. I got those who they're asking me for help. They'll listen to me and they'll go do the stuff. And then I have those who, they want to make a claim, but when you start talking to them, oh, I'm good. I'm great. And those are almost the hard ones. I'm like, no, you are not good. You are not great. You're telling me you have all these medical issues. You are broken. Just acknowledge that you're broken. Because if not, you're going to go into the CMP exam and they're going to be like, how are you? And you're going to say, I'm fine. And they're going to say, okay, he's fine. And you just got denied. When you go into that CMP exam, you need to be like TC. You need to be a grumpy veteran, because the grumpier you are, the more they're going to say, yeah, this guy's got some problems. And you're going to get rated higher.
You are an itchy butthole. That's what you are.
He just wants to get the itchy butthole connected. This is helping his case.
That is one I am not going to do.
Nobody statements for that one.
I want to know if Epilepsy Warrior now puts in for itchy butthole.
You'd be surprised.
Don't, Skipper.
Here's an also issue. Just reading this question from Joan, when she said, "Why were we required?" You were never required. You were misinformed, and probably a social worker that didn't know what they're doing pushed you out, because there's no correlation between these two things at all. Like zero. 8 and 10 has nothing to do with any of this. So you just got some social worker that didn't do their job.
Yeah.
Once again, commentary on government and public employees. Anything we can do to avoid doing our job. And
there's
I'm sorry,
a lot of misinformation out there.
When you work for government, 98% of the time, you are one of the laziest, most low performance people there is. 13 years in the law enforcement career field. I know how lazy people can be once they get that guaranteed check and protection. So
is that why
Ed was adding that he was stationed with the mothball fleet. Several old supply ships had leftover Agent Orange on board. This was in the early 1970s. I had a couple of cancers, and then he added, and when stationed aboard ship, I was in charge of fire foam machine.
Yeah, the fire foam machine. That's the
Elon.
AFFF. Yeah, AAFF. I don't know if he's claimed it or not, but that's definitely a toxic exposure claim. You just claim it to that toxic exposure, and whatever you have, the diagnosis that you got from that, you're pretty good to go. Now, the other thing, I don't know if you want to try to claim something like that. It's going to be a little bit harder to prove that.
I would also say, if you were ever forced to eat the only remaining MRE and it happened to be the tuna noodle casserole, you should be allowed to claim toxic exposure.
You just put hot sauce on that. I put hot sauce on all of them.
The 5 fingers of death.
I went, no. tuna noodle casserole, like, hey, sorry, it's the last one we have. I'm fine. I will eat this crappy cracker instead.
Yes, Vintage, we are live now. In fact, we have a pinned comment, which is a link to the show if you want to come on live and ask a question. Joan asked, they also denied family care program because he wasn't 100%. That's surprised both of us with my paramedic experience.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's not the reason why they denied him. You just have to be 70% or more to qualify for the PCFC program. The reason why they denied you is because they just check this out. I know a woman that I'm helping. She is blind. She had to have someone fill out her paperwork to read her decision letter of being denied. And on top of that, she was blinded by the VA. The VA blinded her through a blotch surgery, and she got denied. What you're really going to get denied for is they just copy and paste a denial on these caregivers program. And what you need to do is get an advance on the docket, an AOD. Don't appeal it. You can do whatever you want. Do the supplemental. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be bouncing back and forth. Appeal it to the board. Get an advance on a docket. What's an advance on a docket? An AOD. This is like hardship. Like, I don't know what's wrong with them, but obviously they need a caregivers program, whether it's financial, health, mental health. They're behind on their bills, medical, whatever it may be. You want to do an AOD, advance on the docket.
Yeah, this is about her husband, the one that's in hospice.
Okay, John.
Cinder wants to know if being on this panel is considered toxic. Wait a minute. Are you saying that if we have to be on this panel, it's toxic exposure, or are you saying watching this panel is toxic exposure? And yes. And Greg of Scotland says, question 102. My question, I am going to have some sort of dyslexic attack here.
Sorry.
Trying to read his question. Is the military hyped up, pushed to be the best and richest all forms over the world, but the military is hyped up because they need people to join, and so they need you to think that you're getting into something that's going to be lucrative. And Skipper and Robert can vouch for that, especially the career officers and career NCOs. They really think they're buying into a program where everything's going to be taken care of. And the VA is separate from the military. They're not under the same thing, and that is very intentional. And as much as I cannot stand how the military is run by any administration, I honestly can say that I think if the military were in charge of the VA, it would be run a whole hell of a lot of freaking different. I tell you that.
I'll tell you this. I've seen military leadership officers say, we're going to do this so that this service member is denied any VA services. And I literally sat in a meeting where they did this. And what they were doing is they were ad-sepping a young man who I talked to him later. I was like, what are they offering you for a discharge? And he's like, a general. I go, is it OTH? He goes, no, just a general. I go, they have no clue. The military leadership has no clue how the VA operates. I'm like, you take that general discharge, you run, and you immediately file for your benefits the day you get out. I go, they'll never be able to touch you. At that point, it's all in the VA, which is a total different bureaucracy.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And so, and just Skipper and I've done some deep dives into the VA, and when you look at the money that they spend and the stuff that they spend money on, I mean, they gifted acres and acres and acres of land in California, and then they turned around and sold it. Remember that, Skipper?
Mm-hmm.
Turned around and sold it.
Federal lawsuit.
To developers, and put none of the money into actual care. It all went into administrative payments.
UCLA was able to build a new baseball stadium on the land.
Yep. So,
and federal lawsuit for it.
So instead of taking care of the veterans like they're supposed to, they put it into the pockets of their executive staff. So, guys, I got to bounce.
Yep, not a worry.
I want you to be able to stay on as long as there are people asking questions. So, Robert, it's nice to meet you.
Go do that.
You too, man.
No, I'm going to cook. I've got a
Well,
meal. I don't want to hear it. I don't.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna think about it. He's gonna claim it. He's gonna get a claim in.
No, I will be taking pictures of my food and posting it, because especially sending them to Georgie, because Georgie loves to look at my food. So Skipper and Kahanu get to see my food every weekend, and
We do.
Skipper puts on weight just looking at it. That, and he refuses to do cardio. So
I'm trying to get my bike fixed so then I can actually start riding my bike.
you mean the one with the electric motor?
No,
The
no, it's a mountain
stationary.
bike.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say like a stationary or something.
I'm going to exercise. I'm going to go buy an e-bike.
A scooter.
What for? What? So when the hills are hard, I can get up them. I'm like, missing the point. So
Matthew says, had my mental health CMP scheduled
guys.
for this past Friday. Have a good one, TC.
All right, bro.
Find my
Telehealth
channel
appointment.
and follow it.
Yeah, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, right here on YouTube. I sat on the line for 30 minutes and then called LSGS to get a hold of Doctor. They said, or get a hold of the doctor. Doctor said she'd been trying to get a hold of me, then changed her story to she lost power and said she was logged in, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have it over here. Yeah, was logging on. I sat for another 45 minutes and nothing. Called back, and doctor said that she lost power and hung up on the LGS. The doctor then marked my sessions as complete and sent in a blank DBQ, which is a denial. Now fighting with the VA to reverse everything. The doctor was reported and will no longer do CMPs.
Yeah. With this, hopefully, what I would do, I call the 1-800 number. Obviously, I hope you did that. I would write a personal statement, upload it to va.gov, explaining exactly what went wrong, and ask them for another CMP exam. That's your best thing. Just because it was denied, hopefully they'll kick back and get you another CMP exam. Because sometimes I had the same problem. I actually had a CMP exam not too long ago that I had a knee brace on, and I was doing a knee exam, and the doctor said, "Hey, I can't do your exam because you have a knee brace on." So he would not. He marked the veteran cannot complete the DBQ. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, I spent all this time to do it." So I did that, and they reordered a CMP exam. So I would go ahead and upload that statement today. I don't know if you're in like a step 3 or something, and sometimes they can order you another CMP exam.
Good info. Because yeah, I've run into veterans with some bad CMP exams. A couple might actually be here. I'm not sure. I've for those of you who've told me your case information, I get confused because I get a lot of veterans I talk to. Hold on here. I'll repost the link. Some people have had a problem with the link. Vintage. Let me post it there. So right there is the link. I just put it in the chat.
You're actually on TikTok. Like I can see you.
Oh, well, that's because we have yours, I think. Or maybe maybe I do have mine paired.
Yeah, you have yours paired. Mine's not up in there.
Okay. Epilepsy says, what if they try and hide the FOIA claim for the CMP exams to make it unaccessible?
Is that the person that just asked that question?
Yes, Epilepsy.
No, they won't. They won't try to hide it. They won't. I think that's your question. You're talking about the one that you just did? Is that what you're talking about? They won't.
Oh, no, that was Matt earlier who talked about the
What if they
CMP
tried to
exam.
hide a FOIA claim? They can't hide it. They can't hide that. That's public record. There's nothing they can do to hide that. There's nothing. You can request it.
For the exam, yeah, they can't hide it. What they will do is redact a lot if you're doing it through a FOIA.
Yeah.
Here's Matt doing a follow-up to talk about his CMP. I did. LSGS was great with this. I will get a call back in 48 hours to reschedule. The VA, when I called in, was great and documented everything. The LSGS dictated a very lengthy email on the doctor.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Chi-Town says, have a telehealth this Friday for PTSD. Is this a video call or a phone call? How long will it last?
Here's the thing, just for everyone else. Anytime you have any kind of mental health, you get a telehealth. It's going to be by video. They'll send you a link. But here's the thing, you can choose to do in person. If you have a man, you can have a woman, vice versa. And this sounds like it's an initial. If it's initial, it probably take about 45 minutes to an hour usually. But if it's like a increase, I would say about 25 to 30 minutes. It depends on how much you talk. Because like if you just go in there and it's like, yeah, no, it's going to go quick. I mean, that's why you're not there. You have to really talk and explain this, especially for PTSD, because you really want to get your stressor down, because that's what your denial or your approval goes all down to, is proving that stressor.
Ed says, I am way over 100. Should I push for SMC-L?
Man, on my channel, we push. I always say slap the bear is my motto, but can you be reduced? Yes, can you? There's a chance. Now, are you going to miss out on a lot of benefits of money and for your family? Yeah. I don't know exactly what you got going on. So when people say push, I don't know. I would have to know exactly what you're rated for to tell you. But usually I say yes, because a lot of you guys are underrated and you don't know what you have. And that's why I say yes, because a lot of you guys just don't know. And I would have to know more. Like some people want to get aid and attendant, and I'm like, what are you trying to get aid and attendant for? And they're like, migraines and this and this. I'm like, you're not going to get it. But it depends on what it's for.
Okay, so Vintage says, sorry, not seeing the link. It's because you're, I think here's what the issue is. I think you're coming in from a paired channel. So you might have to go onto the YouTube of my channel, Veteran Nation. I've got the link pinned in the chat there. So you might have to go there to get the link, because we have had people with no problem, but I know they weren't coming in from a paired channel. So that might be what the issue is.
I'm still wondering how you got. I'm still wondering how you got on TikTok. Like yours is on TikTok, and I couldn't get mine.
Yeah, TikTok is a funny. I've had so many issues with TikTok. On my one morning streams, I just turned it off and I said, don't even send it to TikTok. Ed gets 3 nurse visits a week. How can I connect OSA with major depression?
This is going to be kind of hard. I'll be honest with you. I'll just be honest with you guys. With anything that is sleep apnea, get a professional NEXUS letter. I'll hardly ever say that direct. Don't play, because here's the reason. You claim that major depression, right? And what happens is they'll go in, you go to in the CMP exam. Sometimes your CMP examiner will be like, okay, so I kind of understand this. I'll concede all this, but I see that you're obese or you're 60 years old, and they'll try to blame it on that. Now, with that major depression, that's not going to give it to you. It's going to be like the medication that you take for it to gain weight, to use obesity as an intermediate step. PTSD is a different step. I like it, but you got to think about, you got to plan this out and hope. Well, not hopefully, if you're obese before the sleep apnea diagnosis.
Looks like we have Georgie who went over into your channel to post the link there. So hopefully that takes care of the issues.
Okay.
Chi-Town says, thanks. I have a ton of notes from my call this week. It's always good to talk with other veterans, because there are things. Even I had CMPs this month. I talked to other veterans because there are things I forget. And the good thing is you can take a notebook into that CMP. You could take that notebook in and have that to refer to. Why did I freeze up here? Do you see me as frozen?
Yeah, I see you as frozen. You're like a thumbnail now.
Yeah, let me.
We're giving out too much information. The VA's trying to shut us down.
We'll see if it. There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, tried to post and it wouldn't let me. Okay. Yeah, Vintage. The pinned comment here is the link. So should be able to click on that and come right on in. I'll be looking for you. Didn't know that's what the issue was. I learn everything new with this every day. I'm trying to think if there's anything that we haven't discussed. Oh, here he is. Hey, Vintage, welcome to the channel.
Hey, yay, I made it. Hey, I'm on TikTok with you a lot, Robert. I think your name's Robert.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, I'm glad to see you here because this is a mouthful. So, I'm a Gulf War vet. I'm 60, all that good stuff. But anyway, I'll just get to the gist of it. So back in 2011, I got a decision. Let me tell you what I filed first. It went to the BVA, and it took me 20 years. So initially, they put me out honorable with medical conditions because I fell straddle on a center beam on a GP medium. Straddle compacted everything in the hospital for 2 weeks. Bled for 2 weeks in Texas. But then I went to the Gulf War and all that. But eventually, they're like, you're not deployable anymore. But this particular claim.
Uh-oh. Froze up.
Include PT and major depressive.
Oh, you froze up a little bit. You might have to go back.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. The second one was service connection for gynecological uterine fibroids, status post hysterectomy. I'm good with that one. However, the PTSD and major
depressive disorder.
Yeah. So in his decision, I'm trying to talk fast. I don't want to waste a lot of your time, but I wanted to send you pictures, but you know, it's easier to explain it. So he came to the conclusion. So he said in June 2010, a VA examination reports current diagnosis for PTSD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and major depressive disorder. Although a 2005 examiner did not believe the VA, the veteran had a stressor to support PTSD. Like my records are hip high at the VA, but it looks like he took the back pay back to 2010. But however, under where he's looking, what his synopsis is, it says in March of 2002, the veteran sought psychiatric treatment from a doctor outside, which I did. She complained of sleep difficulties, mood swings, suppressed mood, and he assessed her as having major depression. So this is 2002. Private psychiatric records show that the veteran had a considerable amount of depressive anxiety. I'll just get to diagnosis. The examiner noted vague PTSD. He diagnosed major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety. And then there's another 2002 there. And then they denied me several times. In 2005, there's something. In 2010 and 2006. But he connected my stuff back to 2010. And I feel like they owe me 8 years back pay. That's what I feel like. And I felt like this since day one. But when they gave me the 100%, you know, it's one of them don't rock the boat things. But would that be considered a Q? Like, you know what I mean? I know Qs are like 2%, but
So what did they ultimately like give you for like what was your rating? What's your rating say? Like what's your like is it PTSD? Is it what's your rating for?
So his conclusion to that was
on your rating decision.
Oh, it's on a blue paper in the house.
Okay. Well, see, that's going to be important because like the way that they worded it, I would have to know because like.
Can you give me 1 minute? I'll run in and get it. I know exactly where it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Just Just 30 seconds.
We're counting. You better run. No, don't run. Don't run. Don't run.
We'll go here to Ed's question. He says, I mean, with way over 100%, have aid in attendance, 3 nurse visits, doing vitals, and my showers. Is SMC-L a good route?
3 nurses doing vitals in my shower. Yeah. See, here's the thing. You have to show that, but you have to. Here's the thing, you guys, and please remember this. I'm on your side, but without saying that, this stuff gets sent over to a rater. A lot of times, a rater has no medical background. They've never been to college. They've never been to the military, right? So put that in your head. You have to paint that picture of why can't you do all these things? And this is a good basis. I like it, but it needs to be a little bit more. But I don't. This is that you're telling me what they do, but you're not telling me what they have. Because let's just say I'm just making up something. This is theoretically. Let's just say that you have way over 100%, right? And this nurse comes over, does your vitals, gives you showers, but you only have like service connected ankles really bad, right? That's not going to stop you from taking your medication, being supervised. You can comb your hair, you can eat, you can drive, you can do your like chores. So that's what you need to know. Because usually sometimes someone could just have a 100 for PTSD and get aid in attendant. I hope you understand me more. And I know you're trying to type it in, and I know it's a little hard. But with aid in attendant, you just got to paint that picture like, hey, without this nurse, would I be able to stay in my house? Ask yourself or ask somebody else. Because if it's just you, you're going to feel like, yeah, I can't. So your feelings are attached to your claim. Get somebody who's not attached to your feelings and it's going to tell you the truth.
And Ed, I'll text you the link so you can come onto the show.
I think I have what you're looking for, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Am I still on? Okay.
Yes, you are.
So the order was what he ordered: service connection for psychiatric disability, namely PTSD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and major depression is granted.
Okay, so all 3 of them. So what you're saying is your symptoms and stuff went all the way back. I see that.
Yeah, and I had diagnosis.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't care who it is, and this is my honest answer to you. I think you have a Q. I do. But I'll be honest with you. I don't think there's anybody on TikTok. I don't think there's anybody, maybe one person on YouTube that could handle a situation like that. Cause like it's risky, but I think you do have one. If it were me, I hate saying this word, but I'll probably get a lawyer. I hate saying that. I hate that word. And the only reason why I'm saying this, they're going to have to dig into your paperwork hard.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to tie that in, because anybody in here telling you, like, I think you have a good one. If somebody comes out and says, yeah, you got this, or no, you don't, they're wrong, because a Q is very delicate, because
Yeah, I
someone's going to have to
know.
go through it. And that's why, like, I can't play loose and wild with that. I would get a lawyer, no matter what anybody tells you. That's my opinion. And I don't think there's anybody like I know of that could help you. Only one person, and that's that one person. They're not taking new claims. There's only one person I know that could handle something like that. I would get a lawyer.
I know. I look at it and like it's so obvious to me. And like I said, they put me out with a medical with honorable conditions too, like with 0. So then I got anal about it. Like, okay, I'm research.
That's what we do. That's what we do for our
Every
claims.
case, every case on the BVA decisions, and I had my neighbor on here the other day, like her husband's dealing with it. We talked on TikTok.
Right.
And then my brother, he's sitting at like 93%. We were both Gulf War veterans at the same time. And then I was a veterans rep for like 5 years. So, and it's kind of a passion of mine. I've had veterans commit.
I know.
delete
Yeah, we know.
themselves. My father deleted himself over Vietnam. So I always say Vietnam was my real war. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just look at this and then I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to mess with it. I am 100%, but that's 8 years back pay. But I don't know what the math would be on that,
And it would be a little bit different because you have to go to the pay period, and I don't know what you're rated. And if it would go back to that 100%, if they would give you that 100% all the way back to then, or they should backdate it. That's like 8 years. That's a lot of money. That's a
And
lot.
it is. It is. And you inspire me so much. I'm telling you, it's like you put fire back in me. And it's not about.
No, you don't got to
Oh,
explain yourself. Trust me. I know where you're going to go.
yeah.
It's not. I trust me. I hear it all the time. You don't have to
Well,
say anything.
I actually lost my ability to have children too.
Oh no,
You
I'm
know,
sorry to hear that.
it's I had to have the hysterectomy, and they directly tied it to toxic. It's all in this paperwork. You
Yeah.
know, so I've lost a lot more from them than they have paid me. No amount of money could ever cover
I know.
that. You know?
There's someone that I won't mention her name, but there's someone that comes into our chat on TikTok. She has almost the same thing. She had to have the hysterectomy, and she had to have a complete hysterectomy, and they tied, I don't know what it's called, her anal sphincter or whatever it's called. They had to tie it.
Yeah. And you guys were talking about that female ED earlier. Like, you know, my poor husband, you know what I mean? It's like I get so wrapped up in things like with the obsessive.
Right.
I don't know. It's hard to say coming from a female point of view, but I always took the view that I was born with an a-hole. I didn't need another. Like I was so
Right.
hateful toward men when I come out, but not on purpose. You know what I mean? Because I have a major
Right.
MST
Right.
thing too. That
Sorry to hear that.
I just wanted your opinion. I didn't want to send you pictures because it's so hard to explain. I'm glad to have this opportunity. I'm gonna play with my brain a little bit on it and
Yeah.
see.
Don't get too worked up. But like I would not go with any, like me personally, do whatever you want. Like that type of claim is well beyond the scope of some like normal person. When you get, that's really in the weeds. Like, but I do see what you're saying. Going back, they would have to look at like if they can verify that stressor, if they can verify that stuff, if that Q goes back to then. And I would, I hate lawyers, but like, I never recommend it. But like with something like that, I would, if it were me, because like no one's going to be able to dig into that. There's a couple, but anybody that can dig in and do that is going to charge you 20%. That's good enough to do
Yeah.
it, unfortunately.
I'm gonna have to go look at like where my ratings are. I'm actually gonna have to get on the ID me and get back on my
VA.gov.
VA site. Yeah, I hate that ID me stuff. I know it's necessary, but
Yeah.
I've been running through it in tax season and it's driving me crazy. All right. Hey, thank you.
Yep.
At least you're thinking kind of the same way I'm thinking. And I thought by listening to you, I thought, because I'm like, it's right there. I won my case on Brown versus the Board of Education on words more than evidence, but you do what you got to do sometimes with
You
the
do.
VA.
You have to. You're the advocate for your claim. It's like nobody. Like, I
Right.
hate to say it like this. Nobody's coming to save you. Your buddy statements, all that work. You're the strongest advocate because no one's good. Like I know that. Trust me. I know it firsthand. I've told people, no, you can't get this. You can't do this. That can't. I never took no for an answer. You can't. And if
No,
someone gives you one answer, even when I give you an answer right here, I'll be honest with you. I always say this. You know this. Trust but verify. Like even when I say this, go ask another person. Go ask another person. And all I'm saying is, someone tells you they can handle that, unless they're really skilled, I'll call them a liar. I hate to say
well,
it's a hard case. It's a hard one.
yeah, I think it's winnable though.
No. I mean, it's a hard one for like just the average Joe or.
Oh, I wouldn't trust just anybody.
No,
I
I
went
wouldn't either.
in a week after high school and planned on retiring out at 38, and I did 13 years. And to me, I could have hung on for another 7, but they said no. So now, I don't know. I'm still a little bitter over that. You know what I mean? So going back to 2011, that wouldn't have mattered anyway. Like if it's a Q, it don't matter when you find it, right?
Right. It could be.
All right.
There's cues that people found in Vietnam.
All right. So now that's my new job to learn everything I
Yeah.
can about.
Do you remember telling you how much my Q was?
Yeah, I know. Like I said, when you came in that day and you were like,
Mine was $500,000.
that is insane.
I found it $500,000.
I've seen, I would love to have like a walk-in clinic here. Me and my brother both, and we're like, well, where can we fly to the closest one? Because we would.
Where you at?
I'm in Pennsylvania, and there's
In the one?
like
We had the one that is in North Carolina coming up in September. It's not right near you, but it might be worth the drive.
oh, it would be because we could take turns driving, and then maybe we could get the neighbor involved down here. It'd be 3 of us. That poor guy, diagnosed with that cancer. She told you what it was in the Navy.
Now, where
Gulf
you
War.
at? Where you at? What'd you say? Where you at again?
I'm in Pennsylvania,
Yeah, go ahead and talk. I'm looking. Are you near
and
Are you near Rhode Island?
oh, I'm probably up that way. I mean,
There's
we're up
one
in
in
that.
Providence, and then
Really?
yeah, Providence. There's a couple.
When's that?
There's one September 8th, I think, and then there's one.
Rhode Island. I'm always the one posting that link for you. I should be able to search that
Yeah,
thing myself.
Burrville, Rhode Island, and Bristol, Rhode Island, wherever that's at.
Now, would they handle something like this
You'd have to look.
I
Massachusetts, Delaware, New York.
man, do I have the right site? Because I didn't see any of them. But
Yeah, if you send me a message, I'll send it to you.
yeah, I messaged you on TikTok because I was on my Apple, and I was like, I know he's going live on YouTube, and then I got on the Android, and here it is. But like my neighbor got diagnosed in service, they put him out with cancer, active cancer. Welfare had to pay for his treatment. How sickening is that?
Mm.
And now, yeah, I like because they didn't know anything. They just moved here like 7 years ago, and you know, we were talking the other day about his wife came on, Jay did, and trying to work through that now with him too. It's like I don't know, they just dump on everybody. That not everybody, but I don't want to sound like that.
No, we
But
understand.
like you shouldn't have to fight so hard, you know, when you have proof.
Go to the clinics. It's totally different. I'm telling you.
So
And
do you think they would handle something like this there or no?
I think it's worth a shot. I don't know if there might be a higher level, there might be like a QRT there, a higher level rater. I would have all my ducks lined up, which you sound like you do, and I would have it circled, and I would explain to them like, hey, this is this. Now, what we'll ultimately have to do, when was this? That's going to go back. I don't know. I mean, at least you can get their insight. You know what I'm saying? At least and get their insight. But I mean, that's up to you. They can't really do anything. They can't overturn it there. They won't be able to do that there. That'll have to go back. But I mean, is it worth to get more insight? And you never know. You never know.
Well, I know they called me, like I called the VBA and I'm like, you know, what's going on here with this claim? Because you know, they put around so much stuff lays around. Like I told you, it took me 20 years, and he said, well, you got approved, and here's your back pain. It's gonna sound so dumb, but he said your back pays $58,000, and to me that was a lot of money, and I was nauseous, you know,
Right.
and I was so overwhelmed by that, and it's, you know, now today I know it isn't a lot, but it was a lot to me, and
Oh yeah, it's a lot to me.
yeah, it really is. It really is. Okay.
That's food for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, really. Crazy to me. All right. Well, I'm glad I got to talk to you because I was going to take pictures and send us, but it's hard to do that, you know.
Oh yeah, I understand. Well, yeah, I understand. Just keep on pushing. You got to advocate for yourself. You got to keep on pushing, and it might
I
be
have to
there.
write it.
And do what you got to do. Ask questions. Push through. Like you're doing all you can do. And I wish there was a service people would do this, but they're just not.
Well, they suck, and especially like being a vet rep and seeing the inside of things. Like we go to we got a clinic in the area, and me and the county director, the old one, we used to go to the hospital and try to get it for our region. We were fighting against Altoona was fighting against Pittsburgh, who would represent that clinic. So I was on the inside of things there, and I've seen like a Vietnam veteran get a back pay of like $550,000 because you didn't grant it way back then. And then the vet reps sit there and complain because he applied to get a wheelchair ramp put on. Like they need to pay for that wheelchair ramp too. And the other guy, he was out spending money and entertaining floozies. I said, well, good for him. His kids aren't going to spend that money. He's going to spend it. He needs to enjoy his life. So
Yeah,
you know
don't
what I mean.
people always pocket watch. They worry about other people's stuff. I'm just no. I don't care what you do.
Right.
What you do, you do. I don't care.
I
I
want to
don't.
help. I want to help people. You know what I
Me too.
mean? Like,
That's what I do.
yeah, I know. I know. All right. How do I get off here? Leave. It says leave.
Yep. Just click that.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank
And
you.
I will see you over on TikTok. Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'll see you. I kind of got sidetracked there for a second. That's my ADHD kind of.
Okay.
I don't know how to. Okay.
We do have Roberta says, how do I get approved for the caregiver program? I'm 100% service connected.
I'll be honest with you, to the caregivers program, the PCFC, it really doesn't matter. What it boils down to, and they're going to do a template denial usually. You're going to have to show like definitely severe activities of daily living. I would get my doctor to do a statement that you need more than 6 months of care. You need more than 6 months of care. That's what your denial letter, if you got it already, that's probably what the denial said. That's one of the biggest hurdles, that 6 months. That's their automatic denial. And just watch what you say to them in those interviews. And with the OT, watch what you said. You gotta paint a picture. Like, either if it's mental, it's a little different story, but like, you can't do activities of daily living. Like, you actually need help with almost everything hands on.
That's what I was going to actually ask you as a follow-on question. Could it be a therapist to ask for that 6 months of care?
You can, but that's going to be if you're trying straight for mental.
Okay.
Like, you need to, like, safety observations like that, like medication
Sure.
management, like that's what you need to. Medication management is one of the things that can get you. That's just a little bonus tip for aid and attendant, because just think about it. Everybody, even your neighbor, like when I tell you, like your neighbors, if they say, hey, this guy cannot manage his medication safely, if you can't take and do your medication, you guys can, what I'm saying, what could happen?
Really? Yeah.
Mess you up. So it's dangerous. Like, if you can't take a bath or maybe can't eat, you could crawl. I mean, just whatever. Yeah, there's a little bit of give and take, people. But if you can't get your medication, it's serious.
Okay. I want to get my husband's shoulder connected somehow, but he only has lower back and sciatic nerve. He's very young and had a shoulder tear ripped from the bone. A lot of buddy drags and heavy lifting.
Well, those buddy drags and heavy lifting, you would have to get a buddy statement. Hard to prove, very hard type. It's hard to claim. With the back to shoulders, it's going to either be like falls, overcompensate. It's a hard claim. It's like a lot of people try to do the neck. I mean, if it's not, it's a hard one to connect. I'll just be honest with you. The only way that I don't like it, I don't. I'm just, sometimes it's just not there. I mean, unless there's falls, or if you go for like overcompensation, but I don't even know how you would do that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because your back, you might be bending over. I just don't like the claim. I'll just be honest with you. It's not a good claim.
Would maybe if he has to walk with, say, a crutch?
That's different. She didn't say that.
Oh,
But
okay.
like overuse, because some people can come
Sure.
in and claim with a crutch or wheelchair use. Now, if you have that, you could use the overuse. Your shoulders, working your shoulders, overuse.
There you go.
But just generally having a back. I mean, heck, it doesn't matter how jacked up your back is. It's not going to affect your shoulders as much to them.
My most recent CMP for skin diseases, there's multiple types of skin diseases. Do they all get combined together, or is it just one rating?
They don't get combined together, because like you could have acne, you could have emphysema. There's all kinds of stuff. They get separately rated.
Justin says we need to do a cruise, maybe a 7-day, just for vets to build their claims or increase their ratings. Well, through this show, we actually did a veterans cruise last year.
Wow.
We would be interested in doing another one.
That'd be awesome.
And there's always a meeting on the cruise ships where the veterans get together and tend to meet up. And there was a lot of good information shared on that.
That's the thing, because like everybody thinks like, well, you have to go to this person to be like an expert. There's people that went through that, and then they find out a different way, and that's how I collect all my information and I use it.
Yep. Yeah, I've learned stuff there. So yeah,
Well, it's a good point is this, just like when you're talking about this is a little key right here. Whenever you're talking about your back, a lot of people would just say nope, like I kind of did shut off, but like yeah, the cane, the wheelchair use,
Mhm.
walker, that's a way in.
Yeah, you you do have to kind of like be like break it down and be like, okay, would this go from this to this? Um, trying to think. Uh, right here, Sweetie Yankee Bell says, as a former nurse, the back and shoulder can be easily connected. Shoulder and back muscles, ligaments are connected. So there you
They
go.
Well, etiology wise, yes. VA wise, I show me a decision letter with that on it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. Like when I speak like this, I'm not talking like medically or from my point of view. I'm just telling you, show me a decision letter that says that. I would love to see it. Now, can anything like I've had people connect? See, the thing is like I've had people connect their neck to their ankles. You know what I'm saying? Is that possible? Yeah, they fell and hurt their neck, so it can be done. Their ankles went out. They had bad ankles. And it went out and they hurt their neck. But yeah,
I know we got a couple people who are trying. I see Ed's trying, and I saw we had a couple others who were trying to use the link. Yeah, I don't know why it's working for some people and not for others, but um, yeah, but also it could be where you're coming from. Are you on mobile? Are you on a desktop? All that can affect it. I do know that. Uh, is there anything you think is woefully underutilized in terms of claims or benefits?
a lot. I think if I had to say the biggest thing, not the biggest thing, I would think that would be man, I have a lot. Where should I start? I think if you just ask me point blank, why are most veterans underrated? It would definitely be the secondaries, as we know,
Mhm.
and then it would be flare ups. I think that people don't report them at the CMP exam, and I don't think when they do report them, they're not reporting them to their doctor or their specialist or sending secure messages and bringing that stuff with them. So when they go to the CMP exam, they'll be like, "Hey, I've been reporting these flare ups." And why do I say flare ups? Under DeLuca versus Brown, there's this thing, for example, you have your back, right? It's just the range of motion test. Here's 40%, here's 20, here's 10. Let's say you go into your CMP exam, right? And you get there and you're like 20%, right? And if you haven't talked about flare ups and you haven't reported them to your doctor, you're not going
Mhm.
to get that 40% maybe. But if you have and you can come into your CMP exam, they'll put like, oh, the patient, the veteran reported flare ups. I show it right here. And I think that's for every single joint. That's for your knee, your
Yep.
ankle, your neck. And so that little 10% here, 20% there, I think that's the most I think that's what answers your question. Secondaries and that because a lot of people will just say secondaries are the way to 100. Yeah, but I think flare ups are just right there too.
And I had uh, another veteran teach me there's a app out there called My Migraine Buddy. And this was when I was developing my claim for migraines. And every time you have a migraine, you just open up the app, you start filling out, what are your symptoms? When did it start? How long has it been? All that. And it's journaling. And that's
Mhm.
what a lot of veterans I don't think understand is when you start journaling your stuff, that's all evidence. You can submit that and be like, right here, it's, you know, I I'm doing the full thing that the VA is asking for. That's also for military members who are looking to get out. I've told so many of them start sending from your military account to your personal email account. Start sending yourself emails detailing every problem that you've had while you're in the service. That's journaling. And if it's coming from a .mil, that also is an official time-stamped government
Right.
record.
Wait, that's a great point. Here's the thing. Those logs, they do help. The way I treat logs and buddy statements is pretty much like I always say, like you're trying to sell your house and you go out and pressure wash it, you clean your yard up, it looks pretty, you might get a couple more $1,000 out of your house, right? Or a couple more views.
Mhm.
But the meat and potatoes of your claim is going to be that CMP exam, what they check on there, regardless how you do. Because like you could have all the notes you want, you could have you could have
Yeah.
every single app you want, every single buddy statement, everything in your record helps. But what they check on that CMP exam is a driver, if whatever they do or don't, because that goes right to the rater, and they don't want to get an error. Sometimes they don't want to overturn the suggested rating stuff. So that's what I'm saying. That CMP is so important. You know, yeah,
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
aggravated. I get aggravated at CMP examiners.
And some of the best advice I was given is make sure go out drinking the night before. Don't take a shower that morning. Sleep in your clothes. You want to go into your CMP exam not on your best day, and that's was some great advice I got. I didn't know exactly what I was doing when I was making my claims when I started off, but I did have a veteran who he told me that, and the other thing he told me was, don't give up and don't die, and eventually you'll get what you rate.
You will, because a lot of times people get discouraged because you can have everything perfect. You could have, I mean, everything go into your claim, and then you just get a CMP examiner that doesn't note what you say, or you don't convey, or you don't match up. And the thing is that that's just the way it goes, and you just have to get denied. I hate to say it, and get in front of another CMP examiner. That's just
Yep.
the way it is. Because like you could walk in, there could be two different CMP examiners. One you could get the max rate, and the other one you could get denied. It's like the luck of the draw, you guys. That's what. So don't get discouraged. It's not on your evidence or what you said. Sometimes it's just that's all it is.
This is unrelated, but when my dad came back from service in 92, he sent a letter saying he was not allowed to donate blood for 10 years. My mom was already pregnant with me. Interesting.
Is that 10 years? Fine. Is that like, was that from Nam?
The only thing,
if
the
it's-
only time I've heard about anything similar to this was one tattoos, and the other one was mad cow. If you had lived in Europe under mad cow,
right.
I have heard this, but nothing linked to the VA.
I know they don't want to. I'm surprised they put it out.
Ed, it's trying to set you up to stream yourself. If you made an account on Restream, you just have to hit that link that for our studio here, not to stream on your own. This one, Robert, do you ever do one-on-one or just these live streams? Have a lot of questions. I'm a little lost with some of the lingo you're using.
I'll be honest with you, I do one-on-ones sometimes, but like I just try to do live streams as much as I can because I do them like maybe 2 or 3 hours a day on TikTok. And the only reason why I don't do one-on-ones because I don't charge anybody. So it is my time. And then I find out like when I do them, I end up because I want to help every last one of you and I want to make sure that it's perfect. And when I do it, I spend hours doing it. And I got 5 kids.
All right, we got Ed. Welcome
Hey,
to the
Ed.
show, Ed.
Hi. God, that took a lot.
You're here though. You're here.
You made it.
Forget I'm an old man. I ain't good on this stuff. All right. I've been trying to explain what's going on with me, and I see it's not coming over right. So I'm going to quickly go back to the beginning. First, when I was stationed in the military, I was in mothball fleet. We have a lot of old ships in there. And not many of them, but a few of them were old supply ships that had turned out they had Agent Orange on board that we had to get off the ship so that they can come pick it up. That's number one. A year or two later, I was on an aircraft carrier. My general quarter station was a phone machine. It's like all this stuff. This stuff must have loved me. Okay, so I worked with the phone machine for a couple of years. Now I get out, and over the years, I've had a couple of cancers, prostate and stuff like that. Then I go to the VA for other reasons, and I end up with PTSD 100%. Then I got radiculopathy, about another 60%. Then I got arthritis, I got like 30%, and it goes on down the list. I have tinnitus, 10%, da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
You using human math, it comes out to 260. That's all I know. Now, they started sending over the nurse and the CNAs. The nurse comes on Monday. She does my medicines, my vitals, my this and that. The CNAs come on Tuesday and Thursday. They hang out while I take a shower because I'm a fall risk. They hang out while I take a shower. They clean up my house, go through my medicines again to make sure I'm taking them. And so that's aid and attendance. So I'm thinking now, I don't know how this happened, but somehow automatically when I got the aid in attendance, they gave me SMC-S. I did not even ask for it. It was just given to me. So when I was looking over the qualifications, I said, SMC-L is not that much different. Why am I not getting SMC-L? That's why I'm asking you.
Okay, this is easy. SMC-S is inferred because this is how it's inferred. For SMC-S, the $478, you have to have one
Yeah.
disability at 100% and other disabilities that equal 60, which you do have. So it's inferred.
Right.
It's automatic. It's SMC-S. SMC-L is more because it's aid in attendance. It doesn't stop at
Right.
it's $900 and some $938, but it doesn't just stop at L. It goes all the way up to R1 and R2, which
Right.
is
I don't want to get up to those. I've seen what the qualifications are for those. I don't want to get up there. But I'm happy if I could get SMC-L, which like I said, I have aid in attendance.
No, but hold on. It's not just that. See, the thing is that people miss over, and this is not just you. This is a lot of raiders don't understand this. You can be it's called half steps. You don't have to actually be that bad off. It's just every 50% that you have, you climb a ladder. Every 50%. So like if you have 40% for your leg and 10% for your tinnitus, that's a 50. That's a half step on the ladder. You need six.
Right.
You need 6 half steps. Once you get aid in attendant, the SMC-L, you need 6. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be your toenail. It could be anything. Once you have 6 50s, you automatically go to R1 from O. Now, if you have SMC-K, which is ED, erectile dysfunction, you only have to go to...
That's the cheapest one, money-wise.
Yeah. That's
right?
what you only have... you only have to go
Hello?
to Nancy. Yes. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, can anybody hear me? I don't think everybody can hear me. Let me see. Hello? 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 Can anybody hear me? I think it went out. I think you're paused, but here's the thing. If you can hear me, you can go to Nancy and a half. That's N and a half. And if you have the K, you automatically go to O and you go to R1. So it doesn't mean that you have to have this bad off stuff. You can get to R1 that way. So as soon as you get to aid and attendant SMC-L, which is like $938, you go half steps. That's what it is. It's like climbing a ladder. Here's SMC-L, SMC-L and a half, N and a half, M and a half, N and a half, O. And then once you get to O, you automatically go to R1. And that's how it's saying. That's what it is. You don't have to have, if you have certain conditions, you can get in, you can get certain conditions, but with that, you automatically go. That's the thing. So in aid and attendance, you have to go to your VA doctor, your PCP, and you do a form, a 2680 form from your doctor. You apply for it. It goes straight to your rater. And they can deny you or approve you or order your CMP exams. So, all right. I'm so used to TikTok, you guys. But yeah, that's what it is. A lot of people get mixed up on this, and it's not your fault. I've asked a lot of raters this question. They don't know it. I'm telling you, like a lot of them don't. They think that it stops at L or you can only get a whole step. The reason why they think that is this. Locally, when you apply for it, you can only get a half step or a whole step. What's a whole step? That's like having 100%. That would take you from L to M. You have to do a higher level review to get the other steps with a DRO, like a higher level review. That's how you get all your extra steps and goes up to O. Mikey is muted. Mike is muted. You can't hear me? Mikey is muted or am I muted? Are you saying the mic's muted or Mikey? And that's where they get it mixed up, is because they can't do it. They don't have the power. Now, is there other ways that you can get there that they can do it? Just this is for other people. If you have loss of use of like the sphincter for George, did your chew through Skipper's? I may be wrong, but I may be useful for some. I think he was asking, how do you get up to SMC-L? Oh, SMC-L, you got to apply for it. Skipper is muted, not you. Okay. Yeah. I think he went to get a drink of water or something. Yeah. To get aid in attendant, you got to apply for it. That would be through a 2680. 2680, a 2680 from your PCP explaining why you need aid in attendant. That gets straight to the rater, and they kind of like decide whether you need a CMP examiner, whether you get it. So that'd be based upon the conditions that gives you aid in attendant.
Sorry about all that.
We missed you. Hey,
I had someone knocking at my door.
can you go get me a brownie and a pop, please? Like a brownie or two and a pop. Huh? What's that? In the, you know where it is, in the pantry.
Here's Ed.
Yeah. Hey, Ed, did you, was you listening to me?
Believe it or not.
Oh, we got you now.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, since I have SMCS, was just given to me, right? I applied for SMC-L. I filled out that form. Now, is that the same as an appeal, or is it just some kind of a request?
It's just a form, a 2680 from your PCP that they fill out why you need aid in attendant. This gets straight to the rater. It doesn't go for a CMP exam. The rater looks at it and they will decide based upon that. They will decide based upon that whether to deny you or approve you. Once in a while, you'll go for a CMP exam. Now, they don't have to order a CMP exam. They can just go ahead and give it to you.
Yeah, because once I got the SMCS, I went to my VSO, who, as Skipper knows, I'm not that happy with her, but she's got me what I need.
Amen.
But I put in for it, like, I'd say 2 months ago.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know what I realize everything takes a long time, but I'm not, if it's just a request, it might not, should have taken that long. You know what I'm saying?
For aid in attendant, it's a high level claim. It's a lot of money. And the thing is,
No, for the SMC-L, I have the aid in attendance. I'm getting aid in attendance.
No, you're getting housebound. You're getting SMCS.
Yeah. SMCS. I'm trying to get SMC-L.
That's what we're saying. For SMC-L, it's a high level claim. You need 2 signatures. So one person has to work your claim, right? And then they send it up, and the second person's got to sign it. It changed about a year ago. It's a lot of money, because the reason why it's a lot of money. I hear like an echo.
Yeah.
But the reason why
That's my
what?
There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
The reason the thing is that you're not, like, if you follow me, the reason why it's so hard to get, Ed, is because let's just say that they give it to you, right? And I hope they do, Ed. They give it to you, you get the SMC-L, right? You turn around, file migraine, tinnitus, your back, GERD, whatever. You possibly could walk your way up to O and then be R1. That's $9,800 a month that you can get in your condition that you are in right now. If you get SMC-L, and if you get those 6 stacks of 50s, or if you have that 5 for the SMC-K, you can get it. So they're already thinking that. So they have to be on the hook for that they possibly could have to pay you almost $10,000, especially with the COLA coming up, $10,000 a month. They know that you can get. That's why it's not so easy.
Well, now, should I be asking for some kind of should I be calling my VSO yet to say, have you heard anything on that? What is that, 26, whatever that
26.8? He won't,
that request
he
is?
won't know. He can, because he only has like this thing called, I won't get in the weeds with you, but he only has certain access. He can't do too much. He can't do anything. And I know it's frustrating, and I wish that you can't. You just kind of now you can call the 1-800 number or your VSO just to kind of like, hey, what's kind of going on? And here's another thing you can do, Ed, that you might want to write this down, because a lot of people, when I tell them, they forget.
Go ahead.
Okay. Only reason why I know it's only one word, but this one word can change your life. Okay. It's called hardship. It's a hardship on your claim. Hardship. And basically what it is, I don't know how old you are, Ed, but if you're over 75,
I'm 73.
Okay, you missed it by 2 years. But or if you have like certain health conditions, you're behind on your rent, you're getting ready to lose your house, you know, any kind of bills that you're behind, that you get behind in, or your health conditions, you can put
Right.
in a hardship claim. You don't have to prove it. You know, everybody, we expect them to be kind of honest, but all you do is call in and they'll put you on a hardship flag. I called in on mine. They put a hardship in and they put a flag on it.
Okay. So that puts it like to the head of the line, so to
It gets a
speak.
priority. It gets a priority. Like the thing is, people think it's just as everything's done on computer, as you know, and it'll get a ding on it that puts a priority.
Now that's the other thing, the PACT Act. Now I believe you heard what I said, where I was working with the supply ships in the mothball fleet that had the Agent Orange on them, and then I had the what do they call that stuff? The
Foam, the
foam, the fire foam. I don't know how it worked out that way, but it did. I would call that being exposed,
terror.
but they said they have a specific list. I don't know if those who would think that an old supply ship in the mothball fleet would be on the list for Agent Orange, you know?
Right. And I wouldn't know that because like a lot of time it's the area and it's hard to. Here's the thing that you're not going to know, because like you're going to have to track down that supply list because it's just on a ship, right? Who's
Uh-huh.
going to? Can they prove it? Could a VS like a Raider VSR track it down? Maybe, but we're talking paper records and who put it down.
Well, as I told Skipper before, when we sold those ships to other countries or if they went on to scrap, part of our job was to go clean them out of anything we could find. We've found some amazing things on those ships, so I don't think they keep a record of
Okay.
them. I mean, we found 4 brand new Thompsons still in the Cosmoline on one ship.
Wow.
So
Yeah. So
you find a lot of stuff in them old ships.
now the foam stuff, you might have a case for the fire foam, like the firefighter foam, because that's a
Yes.
toxic
Yes.
exposure. Because you could claim that when you claim it, you would claim toxic exposure and whatever you got from that.
Yeah. That was my general quarters station.
Okay. Yeah, you could definitely do that one. And that way,
Okay.
work on things and just look up half steps. Look up I forget what it's called. Barry, Barry visits McLaughlin or something like that. And it's called Half Steps. It's going to be a good read for you.
Okay. RRY.
Yeah, Barry.
Half
Yeah,
steps.
don't expect anybody to know what you're talking about if you talk to them. Trust me, no matter who they are. They're going to be like, half steps? There's no half steps.
Well, I know there's one between L and the next one because I've seen the L and a half.
Yeah, well, see, that's because the reason why there's an L and a half and it goes to M. The reason why you were off, I don't know if you heard me, but locally they can give you a half or they can give you a whole. To get above that, you have
Right.
to do a higher level review with a DRO, and they'll give you the extra steps all the way up to O to R1. That's the reason why they don't know, because they've never done it. They don't understand it.
Real quick, I'll let you go. You mentioned the letter that I needed 2 signatures on. Now, I have a primary within the VA, and I also have a primary outside of the VA. If my 2 primaries signed off on them, would that count?
No. When I said that, I'm sorry. It's 2 raters. The rater that's working on you,
Oh,
the rater
okay,
that's working
okay.
on your claim, and the rater above them.
Gotcha.
So it's like
Okay.
his boss has to sign them.
Well, listen, I do appreciate your help. I don't want to tie up Skipper's
Yeah.
channel.
I'm getting ready to get off too.
He's been good to me, so
I'm
I'll
getting
let
so
him
hungry.
go.
I forgot. I was like, I love doing this stuff because I'm actually going to eat, and then someone wants me to help him, and then I'm going to jump on TikTok.
Well, anytime you can come out here and help Skipper, I'm sure we would all appreciate it.
Yeah, I love it because like I'm used to being by myself on TikTok and just like no man's land.
All right, well, I'll get the heck out of your way, and I'll get out of Skipper's way too.
Oh, not.
Thanks, Skip.
Thank you, Ed. Good talking to you.
Thank you. Bye now.
I'm gonna be on here for about 2 or 3 more minutes, and I gotta eat.
Sure. Yeah, well, we've been going over 2 hours, so we'll be able to wrap things up here. Just filed 12 claims. 10 were denied almost immediately. I had NEXUS letters written up for 4 of them that should have been spam dunks. The last 2 claims got me to 100%. Should I appeal the ones that were denied or just let them go?
Oh, this is an old age question. Again, I don't know your age. I don't know because if you got to 100, what are you going to do with it? Are you trying to get aid and attendant? But if it were me personally, I would tell somebody to go for it because you just got 100. Everything's fresh. you know, I would go for it. I know people are like, don't tell them to do that. They could get reduced. You can get 52. You can get reduced. How long you been? How long you been 100 or the like 90 or whatever you are? But a lot of people will be like, oh, be careful, be careful. You're 52 now, right? What are you going to do when you're 60 and 70? And then you start trying to put in these claims. You don't know that you might need aid and attendant later, and that's a higher level of care. I know people are going to say, don't say that, don't tell them that. But like if your claims is legit, you've never lied, you've never committed fraud, you keep on going to the doctor, your condition gets worse, keeps on getting worse or staying the same. Do you have some you can always be worried because you don't know, but like, I don't know. I always push forward. I mean, I'm 100 PNT and I just put in 15 claims. You just, the thing is with like this, with these claims, you have 4 of them. So even if they try to like reduce something, you have 4 more backups. You come in with heavy ammo. Because the reason why I say reduce is if you have a bad CMP exam. I just don't believe in fear baiting. Fact, can you be reduced? Can you have a bad CMP exam? But even if you have a bad CMP exam and you get reduced, you still have 60 days to appeal it. I just don't believe in that. I've seen too many people fear it, and I understand why, but take your feelings out of it. I don't know what to say. I always say go for it. That's just me.
Uh, Mike says it's been an awesome way to disseminate a lot of information. And, Robert does this every single day. He's on TikTok, he's on Facebook. He's always talking about this. I have in my YouTube channel, I have playlists where, just where I have things about military benefits. I've got one playlist on military leadership. So, it's a lot of different stuff, but we're finding ways to navigate.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like after this, will like you said that you'll send this to me, or will it be in my stream, or how does that work?
If you want the full recording, I can download the full recording and put it in a like a Google Drive or a cloud for you to then download at your leisure. It will be up on YouTube, and I can just give you the link, and you can go right to YouTube and just you know use it, pull it right off YouTube if you want to do it that way. But yeah,
Well,
if you
okay, I was gonna try to put it on my YouTube channel.
and one, yeah, absolutely you can do that. Did you pair your YouTube?
I
I
don't.
thought you had.
Yeah, I think I
Oh,
did.
then it's already on. Yeah, you did. It's already on your YouTube channel.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
so when we end this, it'll still be there. What I will do is
So
restream.
it's on. Is it on my Facebook too? Because I did it.
I believe, yeah, it's on your Facebook and your YouTube.
Okay, so okay, all right, sweet.
And
I appreciate this, man. I love it because like hate being all alone, on TikTok, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like I don't have anybody to bounce off. Sometimes I like when I'm going, someone just like, hey, calm down. Let's, and it's great.
here's the thing: if you ever want to use my restream for your stuff, feel free. Just let me know. I'll get you a login on it, and you'll have to pair your channels, and you'll probably have to create your own studio, because I don't think you want my veteran nation stuff in the background. But if you ever want it, yeah, you can use it. And the other thing I'll start sending you from this is the restream. Because I pay for it. It actually generates 5 clips for every show I do. So I'll have 5 clips. I'll download those and shoot them to you.
Great, great. I appreciate. Yeah, you're talking. Even like you're sitting there talking to me. I was just, what is he saying? This is a foreign language. What he's saying? Restream this. But yeah, I definitely will probably take you up on some of those things because like. But I appreciate you having me on, and thank you guys for coming in. I love it. Hope we can see you guys again. I love doing stuff like this. This is my passion.
Yeah, I
But
thought this was a great stream. I think we helped a lot of people. Really glad to have you on the show. Whenever you want to come back, just let me know. I'll probably be reaching out to you though, to say, hey, you want to come back on? We'll do another one.
yeah, I definitely will because like even though I love TikTok, when you keep on doing the same thing over and over, no matter how much you enjoy it, just switching it up just a little bit. Yeah, I'd love to come on. Like we'll talk about it maybe once a month or something.
Yeah, yeah, love to have you on for that.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we have a lot of veterans in here who come and chat with me every single day. I do in the mornings. I do coffee with the skipper. So if you're, I'm on the I'm on the West Coast. So if you're ever having coffee in the morning, feel free to jump on in. You know, if you see me, like sometimes people jump in, I'll be like, let me send you a link. You can come on and we'll just chat.
Okay, yeah, I will. All right, you guys have a great day. I appreciate you guys. I do the rewatch. Oh, see, I don't know anything about. I really don't know anything about YouTube. I'll be honest with you. I
Yeah,
know nothing.
Facebook will take it down after 30 days, but YouTube keeps it up. You just
Okay.
have to go to your channel and then go to live because it'll still be listed as a live.
Well, see, this is just gonna help my channel if somebody ever goes back and watches it, so I can get some watch hours.
Which, by the way, all my subscribers, make sure you're going over and you're subscribing to Veteran Claim or VA Claims Headquarters.
Yep, that's the channel of the desert. I just started. I have nobody over there. All right, you guys. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Man, this was great. I'm pumped up. Now it's like I go eat and I'm gonna get ready to jump on TikTok in a little bit. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. I don't know how to even get off here. How do I get off?
Oh, I can take you off. Hold on. There we go. And thank you again to our guest, Robert. A lot of great information. I hope you guys all took something from it. Share this to veterans who weren't able to be here because we went over a lot of information. And, you guys can see Skipper hasn't been steering you wrong. I've been, I don't have as much information as what he does, but I was putting you guys on the right path, but he definitely knows the ins and outs of this stuff. So thank you again to Robert for being here. And for everyone else, thank you for being worth serving.
Hey there, Veteran Nation fans. I am talking to you today because I have teamed up with a company that's dedicated to supporting veterans. What they do is they help you gather all the medical evidence that you're going to need to submit a VA disability claim. Now, it's all that is designed to help you get the benefits that you have earned. Right now, more than 17 million veterans don't have their full benefits. And if that sounds something familiar, either for yourself or a family member, now is the time to act. With this company, what they offer is free consultations with the medical team so they can figure out how they can best help you. And what they provide is board-certified doctors with experience working with the VA, comprehensive medical documentation for both physical and mental conditions, and the services that they provide include NEXUS letters, telehealth evaluations, DBQs, TDIU, aid and attendance, and so much more. What you're going to do is you're going to click the link that's in the description of this video and sign up for a free consultation. Make sure you do me a favor, share this, and also tag a veteran. Let's help more people get every single thing that they